Hello, YouTube, and welcome to the Cable Trash Cast episode 4. We're gonna talk about live action cartoon hybrids. I'm your host, a cool tuner, and introduce yourself, guests.
Hi, I'm Alex likes Toons, but I go by Alex too whenever Alex the Menace isn't around. But he's not here today. Anyway, I go by Alex likes Toons. You can find me on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. I didn't say Facebook that time. That's good. And also, I'm hoping to do a VTuber, some like VTuber collabs with. Ooh. Also, I'm hoping to do some. You know what? I think that sums it up. I'm planning to do some
Yes.
like VTuber collabs soon, where like me and a bunch of racing VTubers get together and do like sim racing events. So that should be cool.
Nice.
Cool.
Let me just make a VTuber. I'll join you.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
pal.
Hello, I'm Pale Iguana, but you can call me just Pale, and I'm on Twitter, and I guess I'm on Instagram, and I have a coffee. um, and I guess just follow me at the Aquatic Bunny at Twitter. And I do art. And that's me. That's it.
All right. Now, foil. Are you there?
Oh no, he's been sent back to the cartoon dimension before he disappeared, and we learned the value of friendship.
Yes.
I'm now ready to become a father.
Finally, you learned the value of family. I guess foil is on mute at the moment. Oh, he'll come back eventually.
Yeah. In the
Hopefully.
meantime, we can jump into things.
In the meantime, yeah. Anyway, okay, let's go to the first topic
Only when it was funny.
on Who Framed Roger Rabbit: Good Qualities and Bad Qualities. Um,
Um,
we'll
I
start. Oh yeah, go ahead, Alex.
I mean, I personally can't really think of any major. I can't really think of any major negatives to be honest, because it holds up really, really well. Not just the effects, but just like as a film as a whole. Like it still holds up to modern standards, and I can't really think of any instances where like effects or cuts or like any aspect of a film has like aged poorly in terms of visual fidelity. It still like looks really good.
Yeah.
Like that one scene, believe it or of course, Nostalgia Critic talked about it in his review, but that one shot where it's like, where it's just panning across the room and you can like visually see the history of the main character's life.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh,
a
that's
very well
cool.
made shot.
Like there's not like a single shot of animation in that, but it goes to show that like this wasn't meant to be like a gimmicky thing. It's like no, this is like a legitimate movie
Uh,
with like really genuine talent behind it, both in live action and animated.
because that particular scene itself is like Nostalgia Chris said, it's very impressive because it spans through basically a day, or at least from day to night.
Yeah, yeah, because it starts like night or something, and once it pans back to Eddie at his desk, it's daytime with him sleeping on his desk.
So imagine scrolling through the whole set while keeping, making sure the shadows align perfectly fine between
God,
the time of day. That
yeah,
must have been a pain in the ass.
that must have taken forever.
But yeah, uh, but any like outstanding good qualities though that you can think of?
Um, One thing that I like that I've heard brought up before is that like the way like things are handled between characters, like if or the continuity is handled, like they don't like get lazy and just like animate a gun when the character is given a gun. If it's a real gun, they like on set they would like have fishing line where they would dangle it from a string and like have it hop like someone was carrying it, and then they would animate over the realistic gun. Or like the scene when like Roger is submerged in like a sink full of real water, they made a mechanism that could spit out real water and then they would animate over it. Like
Yeah.
little things like that where the continuity of like of what world they're in at the time is respected is just really cool. And how like the plates that he breaks over his head weren't animated either. They built like a specialized robot just for that to break plates over its head, and then animated over it. It's crazy.
It is very crazy.
Especially like in a time before like digital compositing where you just had to do all of that stuff by hand.
Oh shit, you're right.
And the
But
fact that like it looks as like seamless and smooth as it does, despite everything being done like by hand with film and celluloid animation is absolutely insane. And I have no idea how they did it so flawlessly.
imagine drawing on film. Ugh,
Oh god.
disgusting.
Ugh.
But yeah, I guess in my terms, I don't really have any bad qualities of it. I genuinely like the movie. I feel like it's well done. It's probably like uh one of the best works where you can tell they put a lot of heart into it. That
Yeah.
it wasn't just a job.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's in like every inch.
and then good qualities. I'll just mention that I really like the villain. I forgot the actor's name though, but
uh,
Christopher Lloyd.
Christopher
Lloyd,
Lloyd.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I really like
My
Christopher
God.
Lloyd's villain character in that movie, where even though he's obviously over the top, it it works well. Like no one
Yeah,
really
it's
expected him to be a Toon, even though he acted
right. He
like
acts like it's like a really good. It's like a good what was it? It's like a tell or in a way where you see the twist and then afterwards when you watch it again like, "Oh, that's why he did that."
Yeah.
Like it's just like a lot of like really clever foreshadowing, but not to the point where it's like blatantly obvious.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
It's not
And
in your face.
I guess another good quality I'll put into it is how it made me feel an emotional connection over a shoe that only appears for a couple of
Oh,
Oh
seconds.
no,
yeah. I feel so sad for the
that
shoe.
terrified me when I
Oh,
was young, dude. Like Judge Doom and like the shoe and the dip, that traumatized me.
That poor little shoe
yeah.
scream will always haunt my dreams.
You're screaming in agony, going in mouth first.
Ah,
Yeah,
so
that's
Pretty
painful.
cartoony.
oh, go ahead, Foil. What are you saying?
Wait, is my turn?
No, you were saying something.
Wait, I was basically saying like it's pretty cartoony how he went out.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't have anything else to say about it. So you can go ahead, Pale.
Again, I don't have any bad qualities myself. Um, saw it earlier today before I took my afternoon nap. I think it's great. It's still good.
Damn, you saw
Um,
it earlier and you didn't stream it.
I'm sorry, I saw it on my own.
Wait,
I
where
don't,
is it on
I don't
Disney
really have
Plus?
nothing to add. Huh?
Is
Yes, on
it?
Disney Plus.
Oh shit,
Yeah,
I'll watch it later.
yeah. Um, I think it's great. Um, I don't really have nothing to add since y'all added a lot, but I'm just like, I like it. It's good.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool how like the scene where like Roger uh escapes through the window and it's still away. This is still away, and I thought that was cool. I was like, huh.
Yeah.
Wait, yeah, this
This
implementation of like cartoony physics on the
yeah,
real world.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
and how like or like the scene where like the judge was trying to get him to leave trying to reveal himself in the bar, and he was doing like the what is it called, the
Shave and a haircut.
shaving a haircut, and he was like so trying so hard to resist, and he gave in, and he found him. I'm like, oh, I thought that was like cute.
Started playing the merry-go-round is down.
Yeah, yeah, and he was like, this is pretty loony for a bar.
Yeah,
Guys.
it's good. I like it.
E.
It was great.
By the way,
But
Foil, you want to introduce yourself proper?
oh yeah,
Oh, okay, my name is Royal Foil, like they were about to say. Um, Instagram, Steam account, and SoundCloud.
Awesome.
all right. All those will be linked in the description below. But yeah, all right, Foil. Good qualities and bad qualities on Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Okay, so like everyone else, I can't really think of any bad qualities per se. But Alex 2 pretty much took almost everything thought about the movie and just took it out of my head. How they used the celluloid process and hand drawn animation, how impressive it is. Like it still looks pretty good even to this day. Because of all the little details and stuff. Like I was reading an article about some of the techniques they use, like how Bob Hoskins was supposed to be staring at like a ball or something like that, and it's supposed to be Roger, and he was kind of looking at it weird. So what they did was they tried to animate Roger actually stretching out so it'll meet Bob Hoskins'
Yeah.
eye level.
It was his hand. They had his hand come up to his head.
Yeah.
That
And,
that that was a I forgot about that. That was like a really clever adaptation.
yeah, it's like little details like that that just makes the movie like really good. And there's also like a little bit of rabbit hole kind of thing where I found let's see, it was like Roger Rabbit was on he was unofficially on some public asset show and it was called Rabbit T Rabbit and Friends.
Oh, really?
And
I didn't know that.
What?
yeah, and it ran from like 1983 and it ended like a couple of years ago. And I heard that show Greg the Bunny.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think I've heard of that.
so apparently it was like a show on Fox and he was on there.
Mhm.
And the Greg the Bunny show was created by Dan Milano, who's the puppeteer and the voice for Greg. And he also writes and does voices for Robot Chicken, and he's the freaking co-creator of Glitch Text.
Whoa,
Whoa.
that's a resume, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah,
yeah, but
that's insane.
yeah, I mean, aside from all that, this Who Framed Roger Rabbit? I mean, it's still a pretty good movie that I can watch every couple of years or so.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Any other thoughts?
Um, I guess like Roger Rabbit was a predecessor to Bonkers,
I heard like a
Yeah.
rumor saying that it was supposed to be like a Roger Rabbit TV show, and then they just changed it to Bunkers.
which seems a little bit weird. I'm guessing. I don't know. I can't really imagine why they'd want to change it because it's not like Roger Rabbit wasn't popular in the '90s.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I
Say
mean, kind of helped with that classic cartoon thing they had in the '90s. Like Ren and Stimpy has like those kind of Looney Tune vibe to them.
maybe because Bonkers seemed really distinct from Roger Rabbit, they just decided to change it, at least conceptually. Because like,
I guess
what is Bonkers? Is Bonkers the cop?
is the cartoon detective.
Yeah,
He's like a weird. He's like a little bobcat alien thing.
Yeah,
probably changed because the concepts were just different. From a cartoon actor to a cop is a really distinct job change.
I guess. Yeah, that's sort of like where the theory originates because like it just has so many like parallels to Roger Rabbit.
All right. Anyone else have any other thoughts?
you
Um,
already had the Jessica Rabbit thirst posting.
You can't
I
say
mean,
it.
yeah, she did. I mean, didn't they have to like cut out like an upskirt shot?
So
Yeah, it was.
there's
Yeah,
there's like one scene in the movie where you can her
Her
legs
skirt.
are spread
Yeah.
open because she's like falling off the cartoon taxi because he hit a pole or some point.
I do like how she genuinely loves Roger despite him being an absolute dope. And them just like
yeah.
both deeply loving each other is like really that's relationship
Yeah.
goals.
She makes him
Oh
laugh.
wait, I
and
remember something now.
he makes her laugh.
So
Yeah. It's so
whenever Bob
wholesome. I love
Hoskins
it.
is in the
Yeah.
car,
Oh,
taxi.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's cursed now when you think about the fact that he had to be hand drawn those scenes.
Right, because they can't have like a human being in a car moving that fast.
Mhm.
Yeah,
You need them squash and stretch.
Bob, there's this experimental procedure where you can temporarily have your spine artificially extended.
Do it. All for the sake of show business.
Mario Brothers plumbing, no leak too small.
I guess as my last thoughts on this is I find it very impressive the whole they brought in Disney characters and Looney Tunes characters together.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
On the stipulation that they would share the exact same amount of screen time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because I'm pretty sure that was a copyright nightmare for them
Oh,
to
I can
deal
only
with.
I can only imagine how like difficult it would have been today.
Oh
Because
shit! Yeah,
I could not imagine something like that happening today.
Oh no.
I'm pretty sure Disney would not like allow that at all. Can't taint the Disney name with other characters.
Yeah, and
Awesome.
Mickey Mouse is gonna be in the public domain in 2024, unless
Yeah, but
Disney
not for
steps
long,
in to
probably.
extend copyright.
Unless
Yeah.
Disney stops it again.
Gonna
Which
make a movie or something. Like renew it.
Yep.
Can't wait until Mickey Mouse is in the public domain. Finally, I can make a gory Mickey Mouse short.
Yes.
Dude, Hot Topic's gonna be flooded.
Hell yeah!
Like what was that creepy pasta called?
There's so many.
Abandoned by there's like a ton.
Oh,
Abandoned by Disney?
I was like the one where Mickey Mouse is just walking down the street,
Oh,
and then at
that
the
one.
end he just starts.
Oh, Suicide
finding blood or
Mouse?
some shit. Yeah.
what makes me sad?
But
Or
anyway,
Mickey Mouse in Vietnam.
There's
oh no.
gonna be
Can't
tons of
believe
like
this.
late night shows where it's just like, and now for your entertainment, Mickey Mouse superimposed into Apocalypse Now. And we also got a former Mickey Mouse voice actor to play him.
Uh-huh. All right. I guess we'll move on to the next topic. The subtopic of Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Is it overrated? Your thoughts on that, Royal Foil?
Nah.
Pretty sure we're all gonna say nah.
Nah.
Nah. I honestly think
It deserves the praise it gets.
oh yeah, totally, because you feel like, oh yeah, it still looks so good. Like I always underestimate like how well put together the entire thing is.
Yeah, because when did that came out? Like early 90s?
1989.
89?
That was like
late
80s.
80s. Alright.
Yeah.
And it still looks good. Like, shit.
And think about the cartoons in the 80s. I mean, you had like He-Man and Transformers and all that shit. I mean, it's just a breath of fresh air. You
Yeah.
compare those cartoons and then Roger Rabbit.
Man.
Is Roger? No, it's not the first instance of like a cartoon live action hybrid, right? Nah, but it's probably the best one.
Yeah.
It's definitely one of the best ones.
Any other movies that would be on par or better are only like live action animated hybrid by technicality, like the Lego movie.
Like the because they had that one scene. Yeah. Hmm. You know what? I don't even know what's the first one that
The
did
real
this.
debate, does Fat Albert count?
I don't think it counts.
Yeah, I will say you know what? Of all the movies about like cartoon characters entering the real world, Fat Albert had probably like the most interesting concept of it that I wish another movie did instead. Where it's like, oh, if the cartoon characters spend too long in the real world, they're gonna disappear from the show that they're from
Yeah.
and turn to dust. That was cool. I wish it was in something else.
Also pretty depressing.
Yeah, there's like a whole scene where there's like a scene where they express like fear of their mortality. It's like, I don't want to disappear. I think it was like Bucky, the guy with like the huge buck teeth and like the weird hair, is just like, I don't want to disappear.
Oh.
It's like trying to be really sad, but they're like in these like Technicolor clothes and talking with like weird accents and stuff.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hey,
But yeah.
hey.
Hey, hey,
I will say, Keenan, he got the hey 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 down.
Yeah.
hey. All right. And then let's move on to the next subsection on Cool World.
Oh
Uh,
God, I forgot. I always forget about Cool World until someone brings it up, and then it all comes flooding back.
Dang.
like I haven't seen it. I've only seen like videos about it, and it seems to be like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, kind of a clone, but in a different aesthetic.
Like, well, apparently it was like due to a bunch of like studio meddling that it came out as like this really weird thing. Because apparently, like the plan was to be about a cartoon and human hybrid that is like a freak in both the cartoon and human world. So he like tries to find and kill his father.
Oh, that would've been better. Uh,
Yeah, but and again, this is hearsay from that again from the nostalgia critic, where it was like the studio basically intervened and said, "Nah, that's too weird. You can't do that."
then I'll add this thing, the Hollow Slayer one, who just added the fact that Cool World was supposed to be R-rated,
It
which
was, yeah,
would have been really cool. Like that would have been what the first R-rated hybrid, that live action cartoon hybrid.
yeah.
But but yeah. So I'll move on to Foil. What are your thoughts in Cool World?
I hate to say that I've never seen the movie. Like, despite the fact that I've seen most of Ralph's works, like Fritz Cat and Coonskin, Heavy Traffic, all that, I've never seen Cool World before. But what I've
It,
seen, I hate to say this, but
it's a
nostalgia
bummer that
critics
that
get
was like what
on.
he went out with,
Hmm.
because you
That's
really get like the sense that like, because when you hear about like the stories of like what went on when he was making it, like wow, this was gonna be like his big magnum opus, and the studio just constantly messed with it.
Oh yeah, but like from what I've seen, like his animation doesn't really mesh well with live action, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh?
oh
I
look.
mean, maybe like that Holly chick, I guess worked, but aside from
What's
that,
my
like his
cat?
usual drawings never worked.
All right, but anyway, Alex and Menix joined. The you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I slept in. I just woke up a couple minutes ago.
Whoa.
Oh. Mood.
Yeah, it's like 2 o'clock over here. Yeah, I'm Alex the Menace. I'm always here, except I'm late this time. I'm on Twitter. I'm on YouTube. I don't know. I exist.
He exists, guys. All right.
Also, I'm not on my microphone this time. I'm just using my earbuds, like speakers or whatever. So if my audio sounds horrible, it's probably
You
why.
sound all right on my end.
Yeah,
Okay.
you sound okay.
So recap what we've been talking about. You can cut this out if you want to. But what did I miss?
The main thing we've touched on so far was like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and then just kind of talking, like rambling on a few other ones from there.
Oh yeah, I see. Let's see what qualifies good qualities, bad qualities. Oh, Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Are you guys still talking about that then, or?
Uh, we're actually talking about Cool
Somewhat.
World at the moment. Unless
Oh, okay. I've seen.
Yeah,
I
Cool
mean, we
World.
unless you want to put
okay. Maybe
your thoughts on
input.
Roger Rabbit. Yeah.
Okay. I'm only gonna talk about one aspect because everyone's talked about the animation. Richard Williams, R.I.P. It's incredible. It's like legit 24 FPS type animation, not all done on ones. Very smooth, very impressive. But what I was gonna say about the movie I really found interesting was its like kind of its commentary on like not poverty, but like kind of the villain's like main plot or main
Objective.
uh
Objective.
yeah is like he wants to like destroy Toontown so he can like build like freeways and stuff like that, and because of that he also like kind of bought out the public transportation systems in the city, and basically like that would affect everyone. Like you know, the kids in the beginning who use the trolley to get around freely. You know, they just hop.
Gentrification.
Yeah, gentrification basically.
Yeah.
And expansion, like urban expansion and stuff like that. Basically, kind of like how. Uh, also, I just woke up. So I'm trying to like collect my thoughts here.
It's fine.
Well, okay. Well, yeah. I just found that really interesting. Kind of its because no one talks about that. Like it's kind of its commentary on like how like all the stuff with like freeways and again gentrification, but just like public transportation versus like cars and the elimination of reliable public transportation in the United States has kind of like affected a lot of people in terms of like again in the movie at the beginning you see the kids riding on the back of the like the trolley thing or whatever, and he hops in the back with them, and it's like you think about that, and it's like, oh well, those kids would have nowhere to be able to, no way to be able to get around, and
Yeah.
so would him because he doesn't have a car, right? Like he can drive, but he doesn't have a car. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't have a car.
Bob Hoskins' character, are also R.I.P. But no, yeah, I don't know. It's just really interesting because like of all the things people talk about, no one mentions like it's sort of commentary on that, and also gentrification. Like the Toons are like segregation. Well, I mean, people have kind of commented like it's almost like a segregationist type thing.
Yeah.
The Toons are in one part of the city, the live action
Yeah.
people are not, and I don't know. This is like a cool thing. When I was rewatching it, it was like
I
a cool thing no one talks about.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
still haven't read the book, but I heard that the book has strong symbolism about like race relationships in that specific era.
And it feels natural too. It doesn't feel forced at all.
I guess the movie also
Yeah,
has like race relation symbolism
Oh, totally.
sprinkled through it.
Yeah, because like the main character's like getting over his prejudice and
Mhm.
Those damn tunes.
yeah,
yeah,
like the
yeah.
way
It's
he
because
says it is like it makes it sound like a derogatory slur.
Toons killed my brother.
Yeah,
yeah, it's
Oh.
like a tragic sort of thing. Like he used to like them, but like this thing happened, and now he has like a resentment towards them. It's like you know
and there's
stuff
like
like
layers
that.
to it too, where like he'll still have a respect for like when he bumps into Betty Boop and he
Oh
still is
yeah.
like respectful to her.
Yeah. I thought that was wholesome.
It's
You're one of
wholesome.
the
That's
good
good about
ones.
Betty Boop. I mean, she's definitely not super.
Oh, oh no.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
All right.
He's like, look, all right, I got a Toon friend, okay?
Oh.
All right. Back.
Also,
Uh-huh.
continue.
What were you gonna say?
Oh, the last bit, which you guys have probably touched upon, but like the very very ending of the movie, like when the wall breaks and all the tunes kind of come in through the wall and they're all kind of together, once the end,
Yeah.
the ending of the movie. When I rewatched that a couple weeks ago, it was like I don't know, it made me kind of emotional rewatching that part because it was just like it just kind of hit me like this is like it's like the pinnacle. I don't know, it sounds weird, but like it's like
No, I get
the
what you mean. It's
pinnacle
like a
of like
finale.
movie magic.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
everything's
It's
been
because it's
building to
like
this.
yeah, like everyone's together. It looks it's a beautiful because everyone's animated wonderfully, and you're just looking around. It's like there's so many characters, and they're all interacting in this live action setting, and it looks good. And it's like
This
it
is
makes you
the
kind of
this is like the finale of 20th century animation.
Yeah, because you don't even see most of those cartoons anymore. Like all you see is like either Bugs Bunny or Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
and like Disney characters that are like they're like Pinocchio, but I don't know, but yeah, it's just like because you think about like how the movie they had to hire like every single animator in the country, like
Oh
that wasn't
God.
working, which that's like a true fact actually for the movie because it's because it's all
Jesus.
done
I mean
on
it,
ones, like the insane work to animate everything on ones.
Oh,
So
horrible.
they yeah, so yeah,
yeah.
they had to hire every single non-working, well, not working like whether retired or
Just any
fresh out of
animator that
college.
was free.
Yeah, pretty much. And again, regardless if they were retired or if they just came straight out of college, they hired everyone, which is like, you see that ending and it's like, yeah, this is the culmination of every single, all these artists across the country and probably
The
the
fact
world. There's probably
you have
other
like
people.
Yeah, the fact that you have like that many people working on the same thing in like the late 80s without wires, without having any wires getting crossed is absolutely insane.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
0 out of 10. It didn't end in a musical number. Horrible
It
animated movie.
does, literally. It literally ends on a musical number.
But there's no musical
A
number
musical number
during
is
the
used to
credits.
defeat the villains.
But it's not during the credits. It doesn't count.
They're not dancing to the 80s pop song.
Anyway, back on topic. Cool World. Pell, what
Oh
about
yeah.
your thoughts on Cool World? Yeah, your
Me?
yeah.
I zoned out. I haven't seen Cool World. I had an opportunity to see it, and I did it. I just think that one girl's cute. That's it. That's all I know. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
No
That's
lie there.
all I can provide. I'm sorry.
All right. As for me, I've never seen Cool World. I just seen videos of it. I like the style it's going for though.
Mhm.
I'll probably watch it eventually.
Eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll watch it tonight and we'll stream it tonight.
Yes. I'm
Hey,
not
Hell
tired.
yeah.
what about you, Alex? Too?
Um, I don't really have much to say about Cool World except like the snippets I've seen of it, but I will say that it feels very, it lacks in focus, I would say.
All right.
Like it's very like all of a sudden this one guy is just transported into the world and just lives there now and is totally accepting of it, and is like
Yeah.
the peacekeeper within the world too, making sure every human that visits the world keeps it in their pants. No, he seriously like takes on the role of like the cool world anti-horny police.
Bonk. No horn for you.
Oof.
What about you, Alex Menace?
Give me a moment because the dogs are on me.
Aw.
Oh,
Okay. Well, actually, before I say my thing, since we started with Pale, what did Royal Foil say about it?
What?
Oh, what did you say about it? Or did you not say anything also?
Well, I was basically saying that I never actually seen Cool World except for
Oh,
videos. Like it's crazy that I've never seen Cool World because I watched, what was it?
uh,
Yeah, Fritz the Cat, Coonskin, and all his other works, but I've never seen Cool World except for Zack. You know,
yeah,
animation's kind of all over the place.
yeah,
oh, okay. So,
you
His
popped
art
in.
style doesn't really fit live action.
You popped in when he was practically done with his statements.
oh, so I'm the only one who's actually seen the movie then.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know
Okay,
what? We're not gonna
cool.
have like I feel like we're not gonna have nearly as much to say about the other like live action animated movies that we would about Roger Rabbit.
I feel like someone's gonna
Because
take my animation card. Go ahead, just take it. I don't
so it's
want it
so it's gonna
anymore.
be like do we have anything to say about Smurfs? Yeah, it was really lame. Anyway, next one.
Next one. But
Oh, so I've seen it, so yeah, it's not very good. Not that's not a hot take, but well, I mean, what is it good about it? Like it has like a interesting world that Doodles inhabit. Like it's kind of the opposite of like if Toontown or whatever Toon World, it's whatever it's called in Roger Rabbit, is supposed to be like a ghetto type thing, like in this
Yeah.
lawless sort of like place where these people are kind of sanctioned off to.
mhm.
This feels like it in terms of like it's very grimy and it's like dark and stylish and kind of
Yeah.
hellish, and it's
Mhm.
uh it's really cool. I mean it gets a little old after a while being in this because it's just kind of like I want some variety in its visuals because we're stuck in this world for so long. But there's that, and also the design of some of the characters are cool. There's like a mishmash of like kind of golden age Hollywood type animation, like Fleischer, your Disney, your
Yeah.
Warner Brothers, your Terry Toons. Like it's a variety of kind of styles of all that stuff versus like Roger Rabbit. It's mainly like Warner, Disney, and MGM, like which all kind
Yeah.
of have a similar sort of look to them. Uh, versus Terry Toons has like it's more stylish and whatever. And I don't know. It has like a nice moody. The live action stuff has a nice moody lighting, and it's like kind of very noir inspired, and it's not what it was intended. And I mean, and this isn't the story isn't what it was originally intended to be, but I think the premise is very unique and interesting
Yeah.
itself. Of like this person is like a detective kind of thing in this uh really hellish, dark animated world, uh and basically like they have to stop about the apocalypse or something like that, and I don't know, but I don't know. I'm not gonna explain everything that doesn't work because there's a lot. I'll just
We'll just
um
that's
Yeah, go ahead.
saved for another video.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think everyone knows anyway. People have seen it. You can just watch Jim's review on it. He really hates the movie. Um, no, because I actually watched because I was like, what does he think about this movie? It's like, oh no, he like despises it. But what doesn't work? Well, yeah, it's like it lacks focus. That's like kind of the big thing with its story because it starts with like Brad Pitt and his mother, and then he gets into a car crash, and then he's in the Toon World, and then you think initially like, oh, he wants to get back to his mother, this and that, but then we completely move on from it, and I'm thinking like, does he not care? Like, did the story forget that Brad's mother is got into an accident? Like, doesn't he care a little bit?
It just never addressed
Um,
again. It gets like Thanos snapped into the Toon World
yeah,
for
it's
no
really weird
reason.
because like he clearly loves her a lot in the beginning. Like he's very affectionate with her, and sometimes a little weird kind of ways. But you know, and then we just never come back to that again. Like you think
Well, I
he'd want
guess
to
this
see
is my
her.
life now.
Yeah, he just kind of accepts it, and then we just kind of hang around, and then it turns into like a story of like what's her name? The
Hollywood.
Kim Basinger. Yeah, Hollywood. Kim Basinger's character. I think the one Pale said that she likes her design or whatever.
Yeah, I think she's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, no, but her design, I mean, not her design, but then it turns into like a story where she wants to get out of the Toon World and randomly just wants to free all the tunes or something, and then it turns into like, no, you have to like Brad Pitt's like you have to stop her from like unleashing them, otherwise, both worlds will merge together and complete chaos will ensue. It's like some Kingdom Hearts
Yeah.
type shit or
Or like
whatever, but
Loki IRL.
yeah, or
Okay.
Loki are basically well Pan's mentioned Cool World, except he said he wanted to do Cool World except not bad or something, but
Which is that's what I like the idea of like taking something that you love the concept of but not liking the how it was executed and making
Yeah.
it better. I always thought that
yeah.
was
It's like
I always
Renner
thought that
did.
was a more
It,
interesting like
it works 90% of the time, but not for
Yeah.
Mr. Enter.
Oh, man.
But but no, but yeah, and then it turns into that sort of story of like, okay, so now they got to stop the end of the world from happening, and the ending is cool once things start to like merge, like the worlds tend to merge as like live action
Sure.
stuff becomes animated,
Ooh.
uh, and it's like it looks cool, and the idea is really cool of like, what if it's the end of the world? It's like everything's turning into cartoons, uh, and all these demons or whatever are like escaping and a portal, and it's like cool, but it's a little too late and it's not enough to like salvage the movie because it's just like I'm just kind of sitting around like when is it gonna like what like I don't know
Come
uh,
on, get
it
to the good
I
part.
mean yeah but I don't know that was like the movie was not his original intention for Ralph Bakshi, like it was gonna be a totally different thing, and then like the studios and Kim Basinger like kept challenging him to change things, and I think the one who was in his corner was like Brad Pitt. Like he was pretty cool with like the whole like, oh, this sounds cool, I'm down for it. But everyone else is like, no, you should change it to this or this and that, and Also, I think they were rushed also because you can tell the animation is not as polished as Roger Rabbit, which that's fair, I guess. Like Roger Rabbit had a bigger budget, more people working on it, and Richard Williams loves to do like that animating on ones type thing, and Ralph actually does not, but it's just rough
Yeah.
in parts, and it's a lot. I don't know. I wish it was better for Ralph Bakshi's sake, but it's not.
All right.
That's all I gotta say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll just move on to the next topic. The best topic, Space Jam. First
Okay.
question is which one's better? We'll start with Alex and Menace and then go down.
Do you just want me to say my opinion and then move on, or
Add whatever you want to add. You know, like which one's
Oh,
better and why is it better?
okay, explain why. Okay. I think the first one is better, and not on some like nostalgia tip thing. Like I actually was like when I watched both movies, I was like trying to take notes and stuff like that. I'm like, I think the reason I think the first one is better than the original is how do I explain it? What I have to how to explain it without kind of trashing the
Nah, go ahead.
second one.
Trash the second one.
No, I actually enjoyed watching the second one. Hot take, I guess, because everyone seems to hate it, like detest it, and I'm like, I had fun, but
I
Because
enjoyed it.
people were going into it expecting it to be like a masterpiece, like this subversive thing, which
I don't get why.
it's Space Jam 2. What did you expect?
Yeah.
I saw this loser on Letterboxd make like a ranting like he was shaking and he had to hug his friend after it, and I'm like, unironically speaking, and I'm like, it's one of the
He's
top
just being
reviews of the movie.
overdramatic.
No, but he like left a lengthy review of like this is an abomination to cinema. The original isn't all that great, but this is that, and then I'm like, calm down. Like it's Space Jam 2. Why are you shaking and like needing a hug
Why did you
after it? Like
expect this much from Space Jam 2?
Why you shaking and crying over a movie?
I don't know.
Crying over spoiled milk.
I don't know. I hate pretentious letterbox types as me who likes to
Yeah.
type out paragraphs of
I
reviews, but I don't know. I like to have fun. But
mean, you could argue that the first Space Jam was an insult to cinema because it was based off of like Nike commercials.
Yeah.
It's just stupid fun.
yeah,
I mean, it was something more than just a commercial, you know.
I think
Yeah, I mean there is value to just like sort of popcorn entertainment and just goofy antics.
All right, but yeah, Alex, go ahead. Continue on.
well, I think the other thing with the difference is like I feel the story like the second one has like tries to have more of an attempt at like theme and like story and character and plot and whatever. Like there's the core concept of like LeBron and his kid trying to have a better relationship, and at the ending it works out, and like it's basically LeBron's for stories wants and needs. LeBron wants to get back home and save his kid and get back home to his the real world, but he needs to his need is he needs to repair his relationship with his son, and there's that like kind of basic element of it. And the original Space Jam doesn't really have anything. Like Michael Jordan just kind of accepts he's there, like he's just kind of like, okay, I'll play basketball with you guys.
No, he
It's
acts like that too. He's like, what's going on here?
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah, I mean, and then eventually kind of it's like, if you lose, you have to become a slave and play basketball for me forever, which I don't know, but yeah, the slave, specifically the slavery thing. It's like that's interesting but like there's that, and then Michael's like, okay, I don't want to lose, but I don't know, it's not as thematically, I guess, strong the original, but I feel it's also more focused in terms of like its basic premise is like the Looney Tunes meet Michael Jordan, and the antics are kind of based on this sort of thing, and that's kind of all it kind of sticks to is this sort of thing versus the new one. It's like there's that, but that's not even the main focus. It kind of feels more like it's like, look at all these other worlds we have and IPs we own, and
Yeah,
all that sort of stuff. And I'm
all
just kinda
available
like,
on HBO Max.
pretty much, yeah. I was like,
Time.
and then I'm just kind of like, I don't know. It's like more convoluted the story in the second one. At the same time, like it's like in the first one, it's just kind of this weird acceptance, like oh, the Looney Tunes just happen to live underground from the world, and they can stop live broadcasts as if they're just replaying out. Like every time there's a rerun of a old short, they're just replaying it out until Porky
Yeah.
interrupts them and it's like stop the cartoon.
Yeah.
Uh, and then they just like
Sit
walk
down.
away and
Full
leave.
fall.
They just walk away and the TV screen is just sitting there with the background and the kids are just like where'd they
That's
go?
pretty good.
Yeah, and then the other one it's like the AI, like the Looney Tunes live in
In
this
the serververse.
AI world. Yeah, like the serververse and like the I can't remember. I had to watch it again. It's been like a month since it came out or something, over a month. But I don't know. I just feel the first one kind of is more, I don't know, sincere if you want, or maybe it's just its filmmaking style. I don't know. It's hard to explain why I like it better. But I guess an interesting thing is like the second one, if you watch it, it feels like a big, and this is not a criticism. This is actually just an observation of like it feels like a big Hollywood blockbuster type film, like the way it's like the live action stuff is shot and whatever. It kind of feels like you could insert this into like a Marvel movie and it wouldn't look out of place. Like the lighting and the
Yeah.
kind of camera shots,
Yeah,
like it feels like a big movie. But
I
then
get it.
Space Jam, if you watch, yeah, and then if you watch Space Jam without the Looney Tunes parts in it, like just the live action world stuff,
It has like a Happy
it's
Madison feel to it.
yeah, it feels like a '90s like family movie, like The Sandlot or like um Happy Madison. It feels like a
Yeah.
family movie of the '90s, like the way it's shot, very quaint, very
Yeah. In a
down
way
to
though, like
earth.
in a way that's kind of just how like the paradigm has shifted with because that's just like family movies are now just Marvel movies.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It made me think about that. It's like family movies are not really like movies specifically for like a family audience, like PG rated movies are all relegated to animation. Live action family movies are usually really terrible these days, and they're uncommon. Um,
It's always like the PG live action like family movies. It's always dogs,
Yeah.
yeah, or something like that. It's
Don't
and then
don't
everything else is just PG-13.
don't insult my earbuds like that.
the masterpiece of cinema earbuds. Um, okay, and I guess for my last point, this isn't about the quality of the movie, but just something I also noticed the animation in the original. It's the original animation for Space Jam is not like Roger Rabbit levels. 'Cause again, I don't think you're ever gonna get 2D animation to be like that again, but it's like a lot smoother. If you like look at the way the characters move, it's smoother. There's a little more weight to it. Also, kind of the shading techniques on the characters are a little more Roger Rabbit-esque. Like they try to blend in the fact they try to blend in the characters with each other. Like
Yeah.
when they're in the real world, like the lighting and the coloring and all that stuff just tries to blend in. Like when Bugs and Daffy are in Michael Jordan's house
Hmm.
and stuff like that, and like it
It
moves.
looks good enough.
Yeah, there's a little more weight and dimension to it versus the second one. I mean, you notice a little bit of tweening here and there in little parts, but
Yeah.
it's a little more weightless, and the parts where the only part where Bugs Bunny's in the real world, it's like uh, there's no shading or shadowing on him really, or it's just really subtle, and I'm like, I don't know, I don't know, it's interesting.
We're,
Just I think the animation's
I
better
I
in the
get
original.
I get what you're saying on that. Although in the in when Bugs Bunny's in the real world, I did notice they put at least some effort in how he interacts with the real world, even though he doesn't show like the same amount of lighting or shading as something else, because they had his shadow and reflection on like a puddle, and that worked well.
They look cool.
Oh, yeah, there's little things, but I don't know, overall stuff like that, and just kind of at least for the movie in general, I guess like for the tunes, there's a lot of more in the original. There's a lot of shots where it's like it plays around with kind of like angles and like stuff like that. Like there's like you get these like really low angles of like the Monstars and they feel like gigantic and like
Yeah.
or you know Bugs is like or Daffy's like on that walk before the monsters show up. He's like
Oh, you talking about when he was doing like the fashion walk?
yeah, the fashion walk thing, and then
Yeah.
he's wearing like Lakers stuff or whatever, or Lakers colors, and it's kind of almost sort of like he stretches out like his leg or whatever, and the leg gets really close, his foot gets really close to the camera, and then he ducks down, and his face is all up in the camera, and there's a lot of stuff like that in the movie where like they plays around with perspective and like uh again different types of shots, like characters like there's extreme close-ups of like their faces and like the camera movement's like kind of a lot very kind of zany and kinetic, and the second Space Jam doesn't do that at all really. There's little moments, but it's kind of plays it with the safe with the medium shot, close-up shot. Most of it's kind of at a eye level sort of thing, and it's like I don't know. I think the first one plays a lot more with its visuals, and I think it makes it more
Yeah.
visually
It's the
interesting for
90s
that.
in your face attitude, man.
They don't
It
really do a
works,
lot
though.
with. Yeah, because like a lot of those like really exaggerated shots are just like fully animated. It's like, all right, we don't have to worry about like integrating Michael Jordan into this shot specifically, so we can just go ham with it.
Yeah, there's just a lot
They're
of
just
stuff
like,
like
we
that, which
need your
I
half.
yeah, I was thinking of that part exactly. And I don't know. I think it's more. Uh, whatever. I've gone on long enough. I think that's all I have to say.
Yeah.
All right.
Though one thing to mention is the CG when like with Newman and Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
Inflation CG.
iconic. Inflation
Yeah,
fetish scene.
Yeah.
Or what fetish? What fetish is Michael Jordan being crushed falls into? Is it like what's
I
that?
don't know. I mean, I've heard, I know flattening is a thing, but I don't think I've ever seen like crushed into a ball.
There's
Just
probably someone's fetish. I
just
don't
put
know.
it under.
Yeah.
Wait, is it like something where he's like gets crushed into a cube or something like that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
think that's-
thrown around like a basketball, and he's a CG double.
just put it under CBT. Yeah.
Someone's like the person who like discovered that was their fetish. They saw that and like it awakened something in them, and then they saw Monsters Inc. where Mike says he's the ball, and just like and they just imagined that.
Oh,
Oh.
They just get an erection in the movie theater. It's like, oh,
Oh no.
oh. No. Anyway, move on. Alex too.
Yeah,
Which was better, and why?
we should censor that with like the Mike Wazowski scream. Just
But yeah, Alex too. Your thoughts?
I think Space Jam 2 for one thing, I feel like it's definitely a lot more cynical than the first one was, because Space Jam 2, this movie would not exist if like Space Jam 2 didn't really have a nostalgic following or anything. I think like it's Space Jam in name only. To me it just feels like a Ready Player One with basketball, more like.
oh yeah. I didn't mention this, but yeah, there's no space in Space Jam New Legacy. Like
there's
there's no
cyberspace. Okay.
I guess, but there's no aliens. They're not. I don't know. It's kind of an artifact. It should have been called like Cyber Jam or something.
Yeah, because maybe you could have had a
Yeah.
Looney Tunes character, and I feel like because the concept of like having all these different characters form a basketball team is really stupid, but also kind of cool, and yet they just shoehorn themselves into just having Looney Tunes characters. Like, I feel like if you're gonna make it stupid, go full speed stupid.
Speed 2, cruise control.
Like, exactly. Like I kind of want there to be. I don't know if I've mentioned this before. I want there to be like a sequel or something or an alternate future where they aren't successful. Where they aren't successful, like the Looney Tunes are deleted, and now all these humans are like stuck in the serververse, and it's like Sword Art Online.
Oh, no.
Like LeBron becomes like dejected and becomes like a hermit, and maybe have like another character or something try to appeal to LeBron's like, you have to try again, you just have to, and then they have to like gather another team to avenge the Looney Tunes and like get all the humans out of the serververse.
Oh, that's gonna be the next one. Don't give Warner Bros. Idea. They'll make Space Jam 2 2.
Space Jam
Space-
2.5.
Space Jam: A New Legacy 2, the third one actually.
The third one.
You could have
conversation.
you could have KO on the team. He could be, you know what? He could be he could be like the inciting person who finds out about like the Looney Tunes being deleted and so tries to find LeBron and like recruit him. It's like you gotta like you're a hero. You gotta do what's right.
Yeah,
Oh
he
boy,
says like, yeah, I could hear him
And he
say
would
something
like
like
he's
that.
like and then like LeBron would just be like, "You remind me of my son."
LeBron, please
Oh
sign
man.
sign your hero card for me.
Oh, that'd be you know what? That'd be kind of cool. And
Oh yeah, there's no fucking Cartoon Network characters
they get
or Adult
they
Swim characters outside of Rick and Morty, and I'm so mad.
Ew.
They could, you know what? They could probably get Morty and then just like have him fail miserably. It's like Rick, come pick me up, and they could just like make a joke. It's just like, oh, did your corporate mandated crossover not go well? Shut up, Rick.
All right. Any other thoughts on like which one's better, Alex? Too.
Um,
Hmm.
I think I mean I enjoy both of them like relatively equally, but I feel that the first one has a lot more artistic integrity.
All right. Cool. I guess for me, I'll keep it short. Is I think Space Jam 1 is definitely better. Just cause one is shorter. Cause I like Space Jam 2, but the
Yeah,
second
it
half
was
of it
so long.
drags on like way too long, like longer than it should.
Like that shouldn't be a problem that something like Space Jam has.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, the first one's like barely an hour and a half, like a kind of a standard animated family movie of the time, and then the second one's like almost 2 hours, which
Whew.
isn't even long, but I guess for a movie like that, it should have been shorter.
Cause at least
Yeah.
the first half of Space Jam 2 feels shorter than what it actually is. Cause I think it's because it changes shift. It changes what they're doing during that 1 hour. However, the second hour is just a basketball game, and it feels I might as well just be watching an actual basketball game.
Yeah.
With actual stakes.
Actual stakes. And let's see, and then in the first one, the acting is better, especially from Michael. Even though he's not like great or anything,
I don't know.
but
I kind of
he's
like LeBron's reaction to like meeting Bugs for the first time versus LeBron, who just seems like indifferent.
indifferent. I
I
like
love how like LeBron just like starts like, "Oh my God, it's Bugs Bunny."
Yeah, he's just like
Yeah,
I do like his reactions, like he's really like fanboying out, and he's like, I don't know.
but
yeah.
I like Michael's indifference. Say, yeah, it's
I mean,
Bugs
yes,
Bunny.
Michael's.
Fuck.
It is very funny.
It's like,
It
what's
does
going
like add
on,
to the
man?
humor. Stop it. Get some help.
Stop.
I think they play to his strengths, so like I think it's very intentional. Like Michael's just
He's
like,
very
just
yeah. He's very stoic.
Michael's a straight man.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? That's a good way to look at it.
very, very, very straight because he's like not very emotive. But yeah,
Yeah, I guess that was just like sort of a quality of Michael Jordan whenever he would like appear on camera for anything. It's just like McDonald's restaurants have asked me to talk to you for a minute about kids.
And then other than that, I don't have anything else to say about it. I I guess the music on the first one is
Oh yeah, way better.
is a bop. You know?
Like it's still I it loses my mind I still can't believe like how many iconic songs have come from Space Jam. Like when I heard I Believe I Can Fly like and found out it was like it was from Space, I was like, really? That's where it came from?
Wait,
oh, I first heard it in Space Jam, so I never had that moment of realization. But like, there's that. There's like Fly Like an the I mean
Yeah, Fly Like an Eagle and
Seal's cover of Fly Like an Eagle. Hit 'em High, which is like the posse cut with like Method Man, Coolio, Be Real, and Busta Rhymes. That's my shit. That's my favorite song, probably.
actually it's actually
Yeah.
iconic. Like properly iconic.
Yeah.
And there's
Hey.
other. Oh yeah, there's a theme song by Quad City DJs.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, man, good soundtrack.
Hey, you. What are you going to do?
And we'll move on to Pale. Which one do you think is better?
I had two opportunities to see the second one, and the first time I was sick, and the second time I think I was just too tired. I was like, nah, it's fine. Um, seen the first one, but it's been a while since I've seen it. Um, I think it's fine. I don't. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna trust your opinions and say the second one's fine too. And it's just people overreacting for no good reason. I'm like, it's just
Yes.
a movie. It's just a movie. Looney Tune characters and basketball. That's it. Sure, it's fine. I don't think it's that good. You're not even the target demographic. It's
No,
like,
Space Jam
you-
is catered to 20-year-old. I mean,
You
the
can
second one
Chris.
definitely feels like it.
You
Well,
can.
the second one definitely feels like it's playing up to the people who grew up with the first
Yeah,
one.
Yeah.
definitely.
Because you can criticize it all you want, but having a weird mental breakdown over Space Jam 2 is like, come on,
What's his
Ryan and
name?
JT.
come on, dude.
Not to call him out. What's his name?
Call him. No, I'm just kidding. Don't.
No, don't.
I
I
just think
don't
it's funny.
like letterbox people. Oh, I found the
don't-
dude.
I don't want to be
Okay, fine,
responsible for someone harassing someone
He's
else.
already gotten a lot of comments telling him that he needs to calm down because he's being a baby, but he wrote
Remember
like
what he
20
looked like?
paragraphs on why the movie is a disgrace to
Oh.
cinema.
Oh my god.
But how many?
Boy.
That is a thesis.
Well, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are long paragraphs, by the way. 7, 8, 9, 9.5 paragraphs, and they're really long paragraphs. And
Oh
his
my
title's "The World Is
God.
Hell." The World Is Hell: Hopeless Cinema.
Damn.
God, if you were hinging if you were hinging the state of the world on whether or not the next Space Jam was gonna be good. Like imagine if you know how they have that clock where it's like depending on how close the world is to nuclear annihilation, they're like, oh yeah, the clock is like 10 minutes to midnight or something.
Damn.
It's like, imagine that, but it's just like Space Jams. Like after the release of Space Jam 2, they have officially revealed that the clock is now 1 minute to midnight.
All right. Okay, we'll move on to Foil. What were you? Which one do you think is better?
Okay, so one thing, screw you, Mr. Menace. Okay,
Oh.
I enjoyed
What
the
did I
movie.
No.
What?
Fight.
What?
I enjoyed the movie. Okay,
Enjoyed
Man,
what?
no Space Jam. I mean, I haven't got a chance to actually see the second one because when
Wait,
I
so
wanted
didn't
to,
enjoy? Wait, didn't enjoy or enjoyed?
I enjoyed it.
Oh, I didn't say I didn't enjoy it. I said I like both
I
movies.
say you
actually.
did, and I was like, okay, man, this movie's not really that good. And then you kept saying, oh yeah, it's still pretty good.
Oh, that you didn't enjoy it?
Okay, I mean, like I enjoy it now, but before I didn't really enjoy it that much.
Oh, okay.
I see it in a new light.
I was trying to be optimistic, but yeah, with both
I mean, it's
movies.
because of the second movie, because it just made me think like, okay, Space Jam wasn't really that good, so why would it need a sequel? Like,
Money. It's all about money.
I mean, Ant-Man wasn't very good, and that got a sequel.
Yeah.
that's
I
true.
really wish Edgar Wright got to stay on board that one.
Yeah.
But when I saw the trailer for the second one, I mean, it just didn't really give me like a good. I mean, it's because like all the advertisements for HBO Max, and it just made me think, oh god, this is gonna be the rest of the movie.
Dang.
I mean, was it?
The HBO Max. Most
Oh, you haven't seen
actually,
the second one?
Yeah,
yeah.
because when I decided to cave in and actually watch the movie, it just disappeared.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, because they only have it up for like a month, and then they'll just put it back in HBO Max. I
Yeah,
think.
it'll be back probably next month or something.
Yeah, probably next month.
Probably.
And then, but yeah, like 90% of it is just an ad for Warner Brothers properties.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for the first movie, I mean, I enjoyed it. There's a couple of jokes I laughed at, like let me see. It was when Elmer Fudd and Yosemite Sam were cosplaying as, Men in Black.
I thought it was
Or
Pulp Fiction.
I
It's
heard
supposed
I
to be
heard
Pulp Fiction.
yeah, it's Pulp Fiction.
oh
Yeah,
yeah, because it
Men in
had
Black
like
hadn't
the
come out, and the music, yeah.
And then like Space Jam 2 went all in on like the references. Can't a lady
and,
check her Twitter?
Okay.
yeah, it was a really good popcorn movie. I mean, let's get this out of the way. Like the animation is still pretty good. I
I
mean,
will
like you
say,
said, it's not really Roger Rabbit level, but there's certain scenes like when Bugs and Daffy go into Michael Jordan's house, and they're
yeah.
really detailed with the animation and shading. And
Yeah.
I mean, the shading was kind of loud a little bit sometimes, whereas almost as if the characters are shiny.
Yeah.
But,
Anything else to add, Foil?
um, hmm. Oh yeah, Newman when he was in,
Newman.
like the part where Newman was inflated. I don't know why they had him. I don't know why.
Everyone's gonna bring up that part.
Always. All right. Before we move on to the next one, I'll just add that Space Jam 2 had Big Chungus in it, so automatically it's better. Big
Yeah,
Chungus.
but the first one had Swole Chungus.
Swole Chungus.
Oh, that poor.
Yeah,
that-
the part where he drinks Michael Jordan's special stuff, which is,
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
special
yeah.
cash.
why is it special? I don't know, but
This-
yeah. And then he gets really muscular.
Yeah.
The Big Chungus. Anyway, next topic. Any criticism for both films? We'll start from down up. So Foil, you have any additional criticism for? I guess the first one, since you didn't see the second one.
Well, I mean, only negatives I can really think of is how Michael Jordan interacts with the Toons. I guess it just seems like he's just there, and then he doesn't really play around with him that much. Like the one thing that I like about Space Jam 2 that I saw is how LeBron is actually in the cartoon world. So you get a little bit more leeway with that, but it's pretty much
Yeah.
just live action, but with the Looney Tunes.
Interesting. All right, cool.
That's really
All right, move on to Pale.
I don't really have any criticism for it. I'm not gonna offend it anyway. I'm like, it's a movie.
It's a
Yeah.
movie. It needed more Stitch. It needed more Golf Boys.
Yes, that's all we needed.
It needed more goth boy Stitch.
Yeah.
Michael
Oh no,
Jordan is a
no,
goth boy.
Oh, you had to slam on the brakes there.
no.
Put it, God, throw it in reverse. I want to go back.
It's separate.
It needed the guy from Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Roderick or whatever.
Yes, I love him so much.
Yeah.
All right. I don't have much criticism for the first one. Like it's fine. On the second one is
Second
the
action was better.
we'll probably we'll get to that. The for the second one is I did not like Algorithm's robot psychic. It really felt
Yeah.
out of place.
Oh yeah, it felt
Discount
like
minion.
yeah, it was weird because the whole movie kind of feels like it's catered towards like the 20 to 30-year-old crowd who saw Space Jam as kids or whatever. And then there's this thing which feels like a last minute, like, oh yeah, there's kids who are gonna watch
There's
this who probably didn't grow up with the first one. So here's something for them. It's like, I don't know, it was
Yeah.
weird. Oh yeah, that is weird. It felt out of place.
That character had like no purpose being there.
has no purpose. It's out of place. I hate this design because it's somehow way more cartoony than everything else in that movie.
It
Uh,
looks like a mascot for
Like
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 an
a
antivirus software or something.
it does.
it really
Maybe that's
does.
the intention, but
I guess, but it doesn't look distinct. Like if
I
you told me it was like a mascot for like some kind of computer company or whatever, like you would see that little character jump into the Intel Inside logo as the jingle plays.
I thought he looked like a mascot of like a gas station or something. He just looks like I don't know. He looks something. He looks more car related.
Yeah, you know what? I could see that. I could see that little character as like a standee on like a shelf at like an AutoZone or above a slushy machine.
What's the name of the
Carfax.
character, by the way?
Uh,
Or no one knows.
I
I
don't
I mean,
know.
I'm not looking it up.
Just
I don't
Algie's robot partner.
Algae Rhythm Sidekick. I type in Algae Rhythm Sidekick and I can't find any pictures at all of the character, which says a lot. Pete. His name is Pete.
What the fuck, Pete? Does he
Yeah,
even,
according to the villains wiki, his name is Pete.
Great name.
does it stand for something or is it just Pete?
It's just literally Pete.
Oh, that
Man.
sounds so generic.
It's funny though, because it's like Pete. That's his name. I don't know. He looks like a mascot for like tampons or something. I don't...
You know what? He could be a mascot for that Walmart, the Kmart blue light
yeah.
sale.
Yeah.
You
He
talking about the light
does.
bulb guy?
He does, dude. He looks like a mutated Kmart light bulb.
Yeah, he looks like a light bulb. That's why I was like, he looks like
That's a
an
redesign.
Yeah.
That's a corporate redesign.
Yeah.
I think if you were in 2D, it would have been more appealing, but I don't know.
Would have been neat. But then again, the character would have still been just as pointless.
Oh
Money
yeah,
was
he
wasted
doesn't.
on that.
Then
Oh yeah, he's just basically there to react to everything. 'Cause I was thinking like, oh, is he gonna like turn his back on Algae and like,
and create the
you know,
conflict.
help or like help them or something like that? And it's like, oh yeah, you guys made me realize like, oh yeah, he doesn't. He's literally just there to react and
Uh,
be cute for the kids. Like if he wasn't there, no one would have like.
It
The story doesn't change.
technically helps out as kind of a because what's his name again? I even forgot. It's Pete, right? Because Pete is the one that brings all the people into the server world.
Well, I mean,
By
yeah, but it's
They
could
could,
have.
they could have had him do that. They could have like
They-
had him snap his fingers. He's just like, I saw that. It could be like Al Dream goes like, I saw this in a movie, and then he snaps his fingers, and
Yeah.
all the
And then
people
he'll-
get zapped in.
they could
I
have
saw
just
this in a movie.
they could
That's totally something a reference they would
Yeah.
do.
yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
Don't
saw
tell
this in a
anyone.
movie.
It wasn't one. Don't tell anyone, but it wasn't one of ours.
Oh, that'd be funnier if they
That-
did that. People would hate that because people hate references in movies. I would have been like, that's really funny because
this
Yeah, especially
movie,
because like Avengers references are such low hanging fruit at this point. But it would have been funnier.
yeah.
I saw this in a movie. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty funny.
The other criticism I have is shit, I forgot. Whatever. I'll move on to Alex 2 then until I remember it.
Huh?
Your
Shit.
turn.
Never mind. I remember what it was. So the other criticism for Space Jam 2 is it feels like it's self-aware, but it never goes fully into it. Like
Yeah.
the beginning of the movie, they're talking about how corporate kind of just milks the fame out of people and puts it everywhere in their products. And
Yeah, like the movie calls itself out.
but I feel like they could have played more with that. It was only in that scene, and it kind of never gets brought up. It should have been more
Yeah.
self-aware.
Oh no! You see, when you admit that what you're doing is stupid, then and proceed to do it, then it no longer becomes stupid, and you're smart. Actually,
Genius. 5D chess. Alright,
That's how Modern Family Guy writes all their stuff.
that's all I had to say. You can now you can go, Alex too.
Um, I think anything I wanted to say about Space Jam 2 has already been said. Would anyone else like to air their grievances to the estate of LeBron James?
I realized
Oh
when
wait,
I was
no,
looking
he's
at
still
the
alive.
notes.
Damn it.
Oh, I was gonna say I realized when I talked way too long about Space Jam 1 2. I'm like, oh, I accidentally went over the criticisms and qualities of both. What did I not criticize about the first one? Oh yeah, I said the first one doesn't really have much of a focus on theme or character. Like there's not like ever like bonding moments between MJ and like them. He's just kind of like along for the ride. Like he's never like, Bugs, you're real cool. You remind me of my pops or something, you know, or something
Oh yeah, I
or
forgot
something
about the
like
fact that he was doing baseball too. Sorry.
yeah. Like it doesn't call to mind much of that stuff, or even kind of like why he's doing baseball. Like I mean, he does it for his father, but it's like, I mean, if you know that in real life about him, you know why he's doing it, but the movie doesn't do much about it. I don't know. Like it's fine though. Like that's not the focus of the movie, but that is like a thing. It's like it doesn't have much in its weight of that. And I've already said what I said about the second one, I guess. But the only thing I forgot, I think my least favorite part of the second one is the Porky Pig rap.
The I
Look,
kind
I love. Yeah,
I
I'll
kind of like
continue.
the Porky Pig rap. It's just so cringe that
Yeah,
I
they
just
did
enjoy it.
they did like
No,
the
it was
super
just big.
hot
I had
fire. They did the
I
super
had
hot fire like rap reaction with everyone going, "Oh!"
Yeah, it was. I
That
felt such. I was
that was
okay
the
with
point where it
everything
broke
else in
me.
the movie. Yeah, I was okay with everything in the movie because I saw it in the theaters, and I was like, you get to that part, and I was like, oh boy, I feel such secondhand embarrassment. Like, I
Aw.
don't know. Look, because the look, I love. See, the thing is, I heard the beat originally, like before he starts rapping. It's "Flavor in the Ear" by Craig Mack, and it's like, oh, that's cool. It's cool to hear that in a movie, but I'm like, no, wait, why is this still playing? Oh no, he's gonna rap, isn't he? It's like, oh god, and it's
Notorious
like
P.I.G.
I do
which,
like the edits where
yeah,
they would just have him go like, "Doing your mom."
It's like Titanic, the animated series. Like,
it's like when Drac raps in
not the
Hotel
animated
Transylvania.
series.
Oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
that's definitely cringe.
Yeah, they have him like pick up the microphone and start right when he's about to rap, and it just cuts to like number 6. Student
Burger
watches
King.
porn and gets naked.
All right, we'll move on to next topic is like any good qualities uh in the Space Jam movies. We go from top to bottom. So Alex and Menace
Yeah, yeah, I've already again,
already.
I jumped. Oh, I mean, I do have one thing I didn't mention, but I will say it. The first one, uh, and no one talks about these, but I really like when certain animation sequences are really cool. Like, I like the part where Miss Schwackhammer is kind of describing to MJ if he loses what his life is going to be like, and it suddenly shifts into a different art style. Like it's kind of this comic booky,
Yeah,
deep
black
shadow,
shading.
sort of like Mike
looks neat.
Magnolia, whatever's the Hellboy guy is. Yeah, it's like these kind of deep blacks and shading, and with like these sort of like not neon colors, but like it's kind of there's less colors like greens and yellows and purples, and it looks really cool. I love how that looks, that part. And also the monster transformation sequence, which I guarantee is probably a fetish for someone. Also,
Oh,
that
it is
movie has so many
100%.
fetishes.
I can
That movie has
confirm.
so many fetishes. Yeah.
Yeah,
You said
Um.
fetish and it woke me up.
you got
What?
the
Yeah.
butt. You
I mean,
got
it
the
didn't do that
butts.
for me, but I think it's really cool though, just because like again, what I was saying earlier about the camera, the camera is very kinetic in that movie, where it moves around a lot, and
Yeah.
perspective and all that stuff, and like how again they look enormous, like the camera and the way we follow them, and the lighting and the colors, and it's really cool. Also the score, for the first one, which no one talks about these things. I made sure to like make sure when I was rewatching them, like what is no one talking about? The score by James Newton Howard, I think, does a pretty good job of like kind of playing up with the kind of classic Looney Tunes type music in terms of it's light, it's breezy, it's upbeat, it's kind of cartoonish. A lot of this music, the score music for Space Jam versus the second one, I think it's done by Hans Zimmer or something because it's boring and I can't fucking remember a thing about it. But but the first one, there's like cool stuff on it that it's like I don't know. I think that's an underappreciated aspect is the score music. And I
All
think that's
right.
all I got. I already said everything else for both movies.
All right. Move on to Alex too. Any good?
Bunny Boob.
Booba.
No, we're not there
Booba.
yet.
That's the
Oh,
next
the
topic.
next one? Ah.
I mean, that is something that is yet to be addressed, and I wasn't a part of that. I didn't really watch Space Jam a lot growing up, so I
Well,
wasn't really a part of that initial incident. But
but we'll get to
but
that when we get to
yeah,
that.
yes.
Any other good criticism about the Space Jam movies?
Oh,
Oh, do you go again? Do you go away again?
I'm not sure.
No, I can't really think of anything else in particular that I haven't already covered. I'm sorry, I thought I'd already moved on.
Okay. I guess for me is I didn't mention it before, but I do really enjoy the 3D models in Space Jam 2. Space Jam 2, like most of them, I agree that
Oh yeah, they translate pretty well.
the Lola Bunny one is kind of the only one that looks bad, and it's the mouth area seems kind of weird, but everything else really translates like
Yeah,
Yeah.
Daffy in particular looks really good.
Actually, that was one thing that I noticed that like they think that it was something about like the design is uglier, and a lot of people are saying like, oh, well, they don't want to sexualize her, but you can have a character look visually appealing without making them ugly.
yeah. And then what is it? I really liked that Yeah, you're right. Daffy's really good. The LA Gossamer's fur effect is
Oh
very well
yeah,
made. The only matter of fact, the only ones I don't like are the Goon Squad. They the
Oh no, I don't like their designs either.
they
is
okay. Yeah, there's another thing with with like the Goon Squad. They did like a thing where they had Lola Bunny like coiled up by the Snake Woman twice,
Oh
Oh,
Oh.
what?
and I'm like if it happened once that'd be one thing, but they had it happen twice, and the second time was like they made it look really sensual.
damn.
Like, oh no.
And another good quality is on the first half of Space Jam 2 is when they go to different worlds. I like the Lola Bunny one, the Wonder Woman world, where they changed to more comic book aesthetic. That
Yeah.
was really good.
I wish they made LeBron look
I
more
like
like a
when they
comic
go
book
into the
character too.
I like when they go into the DCAU. That part was really cool.
the D-
I
oh,
kind of wish they stuck there.
the 90s style. Yeah,
Yeah, because then Superman and all of them show up, and then you see Green Lantern, and it's John Stewart. I'm like, oh shit, it's the DCAU version. That's dope.
hell yeah.
Yeah,
That's also
and John Stewart's cool. Yeah.
that was also really cool. And I kind of like out of like the montage, I like the Wile E. Coyote one in the Mad Max universe.
Yeah.
It's just dumb, but I liked it anyway. We'll move on to Pale. How about you?
The merchandise.
Merchandise,
The merchandise.
where the real
Um,
money of the movies made.
Yep.
The first one. I've seen some of the merchandise in the second one. It's alright, but that LeBron James doesn't hold a candle to the Michael Jordan Space Jam figure I got.
Oh shit! I gotta remind
Wait,
myself.
is that actually yours?
Yes, it's actually mine.
This
That-
whole
that's
time,
all
I thought you were just posting a random picture from the internet. I had no
No,
idea
it's
that was
mine.
yours. That's so.
I can take a picture in a bit, but it's mine. I own that.
I want it.
$5 at the flea market.
I
That's
got
so
Best thing I
funny.
ever bought.
I gotta remind
I-
myself to put that image on the video.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, post it. Yeah, fit that picture. So I had no idea that was your picture. Makes it even funnier.
Yeah.
Another thing, a weird thing about merchandise is why are people like taking the heads off LeBron James toy?
Oh,
Like,
I have no idea.
what the fuck is up with that?
Oh yeah, there's weird merchandise for the second one. Like there's like a peanut holder
Maybe it
thing
just
and
comes off easily. I'm not sure. They're just trying to be funny. It's just weird. I'm like, why are you taking off the heads of this?
One thing that like felt kind of pandery and like really kind of cynical was like I saw it when like seeing their jerseys in the movie. I'm like, wait, they have like a Nike logo on there. I'm like, wait a minute, and I look it up and there's like you can get like an official Nike jersey of the Toon Squad and the Goon Squad. I'm like, oh god.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else? Anything else to add, Pale?
No, that's it.
All right. What about you, Foil?
Hmm. I'd probably say like those little bug aliens, whatever they're called. They're
Yeah.
kind of like minions, but they're actually funny.
Yeah.
I don't
like
know the
Well, I mean,
name of.
it was
over
a
the first one.
pre-Minions world.
Oh, you're talking about the nerdlux, the little aliens? Or...
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the nerdlux when they're before they turn into monsters, right?
Yeah.
because like the scene, the best scene in the movie, in my opinion, is probably when Bugs Bunny does his bit about have you seen a rabbit around here? And that's this classic Looney Tunes humor.
Yeah.
But, I mean, aside from that, I pretty much said everything I needed to say.
All right. We'll move on to the next. The last topic of Space Jam is the Bunny Boo Bus. Yeah, the whole controversy revolving around that. We'll start with Foil. What do you think about the redesign, Lola's redesign, and the controversy around it?
I would say Rule 34. I mean, come on now. I mean, you have people complain about something that they can just find on the internet.
Yeah, that's my main thing. Is like it doesn't. I'm sorry to. I'm just like my main. That's my main thing too. Is just like it doesn't matter how hot they made the character. Like porn artists are going to fill in the blank regardless. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, like that
Like,
fake picture from the first Space Jam of like Lola having like being really curvaceous and having cleavage. I'm like, that's not real. That's fan art that people were sharing around thinking,
Yeah.
see, this is what she looked like in the original movie. I'm like, you fucking idiot.
yeah, but I mean, it doesn't make any sense just going off that because you didn't come to the movie to have a boner, right?
No.
You came to see
In
Looney
public.
Tunes
No,
and
not.
With children.
Children.
No.
so while I prefer the original design, because I mean, if you know, you know, but
Yeah.
people were just
You
uptight
know,
about
now you know.
the design. That's pretty much it.
All right. What about you, Pale?
About Lola Bunny.
Yeah, uh, Bunny Booba controversy.
They're just fools.
They're just-
Like I don't like the design. Like changed from like I don't even remember.
Yeah.
Did she? I don't think she didn't have like big boobas or anything in the original.
No,
right?
she
No,
really does not.
not-
She's very petite.
She,
she has them, but like they're not like huge or anything.
Like fair appearance, kind of just.
I think it's just people overreact.
Yeah, seeing pictures from past and present, I'll be honestly, I can't tell the difference.
I mean, it's just a bunny character. It's not like you can fuck it.
Try.
Don't.
I can
Don't tell me what to
try.
do.
Oh,
Don't tell me what to do.
I'll tell you all what to do. I'm just kidding. No.
All right. Anything else to add, Phil?
No, that's it.
That's it.
I
All right.
hate how this is a topic we're talking about, but okay.
It was like something that it was something that people were like genuinely upset. Or it was like, oh no, it's like she's not hot anymore. Like that was something you cared about to begin with.
It's
It's
for
like
the
She-Ra, like when people were like, why isn't this 14-year-old girl like built like a supermodel with like big tits and ass? And it's like she's 14. Like you're weird.
it's
Is
for
that
the
canon?
views. And Shira, I actually don't know.
Oh
It's a
boy,
canon.
I'm going to jail.
Let's see. At least for me is I kind of don't care either way. That they got rid of her breasts. Like she is almost the same shit. almost, because they weren't big. They weren't that big in the first place.
Yeah.
And if I'm gonna jack off to it, I'm gonna find a way anyway. Like shit.
There's always
Yeah,
fan
girls
art.
with small
Although
breasts are valid.
I'll add this, I feel like the removal of them for to make her less sexual is dumb anyway. Like, cause boobs are just the
There.
you're just there.
Yeah.
You're flesh. You're just big flesh on the body.
It's like when they removed Miss Keene's tits in the Powerpuff Girls
Oh
2016
yeah.
for
They're
some
Oh.
reason.
That's not the worst thing
They
about that
weren't hurting
series.
Oh, I
anyway.
know,
Why
oh,
did you
I know. It
remove
just
them?
came to mind.
like
Yeah.
having breasts doesn't automatically make it sexual.
Mhm.
Oh yeah,
It's
that's
just a context of it.
it's
Yeah.
just that's
Not
more
even
of
a
a
plot
kind of a
point. Like,
sexism. That's more of a sexism type thing in terms of like you like breasts are just naturally there, but men rule the world. So it's like breasts are sexual by nature, and it's like they're not.
Yeah.
You know,
They
Like
they
it's just part of the female shape. It's not a big deal.
they
even
And by
cleavage, you know.
by going out of the way, you're kind of drawing attention to it.
It's not like she had like cleavage in the first
Oh,
bunny cleavage.
I will say, like, people, I will say that people, some, there's so many people who complain about it, not because it's like kind of misogynist, because like, no, she's not sexy anymore. It's like, please stop talking.
she's not. Damn it, she's not sexy. But yeah, I find the whole thing dumb. Anyway,
Yeah. Like
uh,
you're already jerking off to a cartoon rabbit. If you can do that, you can get past the lack of boobs. You'll be
Yeah.
fine.
Mhm.
what about you, Alex? Too? I know you already like
Yeah,
interjected
sorry about that.
with a lot, but anything else?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hold my tongue. This is just a topic that's near and dear to my heart.
Yeah.
All for the views. But anything else
does
to
your
add?
heart have to be your penis?
It's near and dear to my heart and her chest.
Yes.
But yeah, I guess I'll just move on to Alex and Menace. Anything you want to add?
I hate this topic. I hate that this is even a thing people are like made a controversy about. I think it's dumb. I don't know. Like it's hardly noticeable unless you're looking for it. Like,
Bulligate.
Like,
oh god, yeah. Like yeah, it's just I don't know. It's ridiculous. I think, and also again the thing I mentioned earlier about like it's a kind of a not to sound like a SJW, to to piss off our viewers, but a kind of a patriarchy kind of type world. So it's the female form is often is seen as naturally sexual by default, even though it's just how it is. Versus like a guy can take their shirt off and that's not considered sexual, but if a woman does, it's automatically like, oh, you're inviting this attention. But same thing with Lola Bunny. Just it's just whatever. She has them or she doesn't have them. I think it's the conscious decision to remove them or to make them less noticeable than they already were kind of speaks more to the filmmakers than the people reacting, maybe, in terms of like, if you guys are worried about this, I think you guys might have a problem, if her having that is what you guys consider like,
Yeah.
oh, that's inappropriate for kids. I'm like, it's not like her tits are like out and her, she's wearing
Well,
like
now-
this like a shirt that's showing off her cleavage, and even then
Yeah.
cleavage is like
Not
not.
her nipples
No
are
one was
sticking
thinking
out,
about
bro.
this, but now that you're making this big of a fuss, now people are going to be thinking about it.
Boob offs.
Remember, Alex, it's all for the clicks.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's my stance on it. Not to suddenly get comments of like man, this podcast was good before it got political, but
Nah, man,
uh,
don't worry about it. I'm the one that has to deal with it. And
Oh,
I'll fight side by side with you, brother.
we all will.
but yeah, anyway, move on to the next topic. The
I'm coming after you. Yeah.
Looney Tunes back in action. Probably one of the best Looney Tunes movies out there.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's just a fact.
No.
we'll go from what was the last order?
Oh, it's me.
Okay, we'll go with Alex. Likes and dislikes, and you can add in like criticism for it at the same time.
Yeah, well, I mean, criticism is basically the same as dislikes, but I wish I could say I love this movie, because I rewatched it and I honestly think it's okay. I think okay, like, well, what do I like about it first? I think the animation is, smooth and expressive, courtesy of Disney animator Eric Goldberg, since he was a head of animation director at the time for this movie. Um, and it's not like it's not like, again, the framing and cinematography, whatever, isn't as like out there as Space Jam, but it still kind of has like slick and smooth style. That's like kind of reminiscent of 50s, 60 era Hollywood films. Like even the fact that the movie's in CinemaScope, that like widescreen, 2.39 by 1. I'm not sure if I'm making sense,
Yeah.
but that
Yeah,
2.39 by 1 aspect ratio. Very reminiscent of 50s, 60s Hollywood films. And with the way it's made, it feels like it. Also, I like this whole scene in Vegas, like visually and stuff like that's cool. And the junior senior song that introduces that scene, the needle drop of the junior senior song is really cool. I love that
Oh
song so
yeah, dude,
much.
that was where I first heard that. When I heard what was it? "Move Your Feet."
Yeah,
That song is a bop.
yeah, it's the unofficial queer anthem, but I'm
Hey
kidding.
Driver is
Uh,
pretty good too. The chase music.
yeah, I like the credits music also, because it's another junior senior song. It's like coconut or something. I don't know. But and the credit sequences like are cool because it kind of shows like it shows like like character like animatics and concept art in the credits, which I think is of the Looney Tunes movies, it's by far has the best credits because it has like concept art and little custom animations of them, like animatic type work, and it's cool. Um, Also the part um the part where where Elmer Fudd chases them into the paintings is bar none like the best part. Like I
oh,
love that.
Oh yeah,
that
that
sequence is
was
great.
that was really
Yeah,
cool. I love that.
because it's just removed from the bullshit I will talk about later. Where it's just them, classic Looney Tune type antics. It's just them being chased around and jumping into different art
Yeah,
styles and stuff like that, and it's just fun and kind of creative, and there's a lot of energy. And I also like the space battle thing at the ending, which I don't know if people like that one because no one brings it up as much, but the space battle between Bugs, Daffy, and Marvin Martian, and Daffy turns into
Duck
I almost said
Dodgers.
Darkwing Duck. I almost said Darkwing Duck. Yeah, Duck Dodgers.
that would be funny.
Um, yeah, yeah. It's like, oh, right, wrong. He like pulls out a costume that's Darkwing Duck, and he quickly puts it back. It's like, oh wait, no, wrong costume. It's like,
Whoops.
Oh, whoops.
yeah. Yeah, like I like that. Like it's just it's cool. We're just kind of getting to see them doing their antics and stuff like that. And I like that Daffy gets his like hero's moment because I like Daffy. Uh, and yeah, there's like stuff like that, but I don't. I think what doesn't work as well for me is just like the story itself and the live action cast. Like, I get that it plays with it's just like a James Bond type spy movie, and it plays with tropes about it, but I just really could not care less what was happening with these characters. Like the story about of why am I forgetting his name?
Brendan Fraser's character.
Brendan Fraser's character. Yeah, yeah, like I like the whole thing with his dad and trying to save him. It's like I really don't care.
Yeah,
I like no disrespect to Brendan Fraser because he's like a sweet guy, deserves the world. He's cool. I love him, but um I don't know. I think him playing the straight man doesn't work for this movie because he works best when he's also being, like in George of the Jungle or something, or The Mummy, where he's just kind of this comedic out there guy versus this movie. He's just kind of, again, he's playing the Michael Jordan type, but that doesn't work to his strengths. He's a lot better when he's trying to be funny.
when he just goes full ham.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like another movie I will probably bring up that he was in, but later. But
Honestly, I feel like he was at his best in like George of the Jungle.
Yeah, or the Mummy. But yeah, George of the Jungle because he's a really good comedic actor, physically and but
Yeah.
I don't know. And then the main characters are again they're not very interesting. Like I don't even remember the name of the lady character. The villain. It's I don't know. I just felt like
I do like how the evil
impatient.
corporation in the movie was Acme.
Yeah.
That was nice.
And I don't know. It just feels like it drags in points because I'm just kind of waiting for them to get on with their live action stuff and go back to Bugs and Daffy doing their thing. And it's like, I don't know. Because people say this is like a misunderstood, like a hidden gem or like or low key kind of a masterpiece or a classic. It's like I really wish I could say that because Joe Dante also his vision got trifled with a lot.
Because it is a masterpiece, Alex.
Well, I mean, Joe Dante's vision got trifled with a lot. Like it was supposed to be a different thing also, but Warner Brothers and the exact, this is the last Hollywood movie he did for a reason because he was just kind of mad that they didn't let him do what he wanted to do, and I wish he got to do more of what he wanted because I think the film kind of it's just okay. I don't know. Maybe I'll watch it again, but I just wasn't vibing with it. I don't know.
Yeah, I get it.
Continue.
What about you, Alex, too?
I can totally see how like because I do remember hearing stories about like how at some point this was meant to be a completely different movie, and you can kind of see traces of that where like they were trying to build up to something else. Like apparently in the original like cut of the movie, there was going to be a scene where like Brendan Fraser, where it addresses like the romance subplot, where like Brendan Fraser is like, "Hey, this is the girl I've been on my mission with. I don't really know a lot about her, so I guess we're in love." Like that would have been kind of funny if that was actually in the movie. Oh, and just I don't know. I kind of feel like the original ending was the ending we got in the theatrical cut was more funny, but at the same time, I don't know. I feel like it definitely would have come out better if Joe Dante's vision was able to show itself in full.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Anything else to add? Wait, take that as a no.
Alex.
Yeah, I don't really have anything else to add.
I guess I'll move on to me. I really like the movie. Like, I generally find the humor. Uh, like I saw it recently. I think like a month ago, and I think the humor still holds up. Like this,
Yeah, I forgot the Walmart scene.
the meta humor in between
Oh yeah,
the
that part was
scenes
kind of funny.
are pretty funny.
When product placement is that like blatantly obvious, it's kind of endearing.
I also like I like the Warner Brothers are just two actual brothers. I
Yeah.
like how they just make rash decisions. They out out of like dumb insight, like firing Daffy Duck because the viewers don't like Daffy Duck for some reason. Like, but it really speaks well to how like businesses make decisions.
It falls in line with like Daffy's character too, just like constantly getting bad breaks.
Yeah. Um, and then I'll just add in one thing is I like the fact that Shaggy's
It's like
voice actor.
roasting Matthew Lillard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
He's
you
being
made him
chewed out.
sound like a total space cadet, man.
Yeah, he's being chewed out by
Yeah.
cartoon versions.
That was nice.
That's one of the jokes that like I appreciate that like I definitely appreciated more as like I got older.
But yeah, for any dislikes, I kind of just agree with what Alex and Menace said. That I cannot remember any of the characters' actual names or their purpose. But other than that, I really like the movie. I'll move on to Pale.
Um, I've seen bits and pieces of the movie. I don't remember. It's been like years. Um, I don't really have anything to add. Yeah, that's. I don't have anything to add. I'm sorry.
Dang.
It's
All
all
right.
right.
All right.
You ain't real.
What about
Oh, I am
Royal
real.
Royal Foil?
Uh, okay. So I haven't really gotten a chance to actually see the movie again because it's been a long while since I saw it. The only parts I really remember is like the beginning part where they're in the desert. Let's see. And I mean, all I remember is like the live action parts were like really long, and that's kind of a problem with most of these live action hybrids because they kind of take a while with the live action part, and then their target audience is pretty much talking about like, hey, we want to see the cartoon characters, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because that's something that Space Jam and mostly Roger Rabbit did a good job with, like actually meshing the two together instead of just having like a whole thing of live action stuff and then getting the cartoons afterwards.
Oh yeah, Roger
Because like,
Rabbit
oh,
does have a
it's
lot
so
of
much
live
easier to
action
market
stuff.
when you have like actors whose faces you can put on it.
Yeah.
But that's another thing too. Like at least with Space Jam, you have Michael Jordan, which at the time you probably had kids that really looked up to him since it was big at the time. But
Right.
Brendan Fraser and the other lady, I don't know.
I the I, I forgot what was her job anyway. I think she was like a co-producer.
I guess
I think
so.
she was like an agent or something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah, on anything not involving Looney Tunes, I don't really remember.
Yeah.
That's my that was my big thing. There's just a lot that isn't with them. It's like stick with them. Because even space like royal sometimes I don't know if to call you royal or to call you foil because both work. But
Yeah.
no, but like you said earlier, to Space Jam's credit, it has a better job of meshing Michael Jordan's stuff with the Looney Tunes. Well, he's in their world,
Yeah.
versus the Looney Tunes and back in action are in our world, like a desegregated
Yeah,
version
sure.
of Roger Rabbit, because Tunes live next to people and it's just whatever.
Oh yeah, that's another thing I want to bring up. Like I really do. I mean, I wish more that they went around the more behind the scenes stuff.
Right.
It's like really cool seeing like it's kind of more grounded Looney Tunes, I guess you can say. I mean, not like the Looney Tunes show, but it's actually seeing how they function offset.
All right.
That was a nice detail.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I guess we can just move on to the next topic. Like favorites and least favorite, like live action cartoon hybrids. Uh, we'll go with Foil first. So Foil, favorite and least favorite live action cartoon hybrids.
Okay, so
I think it's safe to say that like all of our favorites are either Roger Rabbit or Space Jam.
Come on, it's like
Um,
Welcome to the
I
club.
guess, but I mean, I have other ones I didn't get to mention that I love. Well, I don't know
Oh,
if
true,
love,
true.
yeah.
but yeah,
Anyway,
Oh,
Foil's
um,
busy.
foil.
okay, sorry.
oh, he's back.
Recently I saw let's see that Yogi Bear movie.
Yeah.
No, at the time I was like, oh
Yeah.
god, this is terrible. Why are they doing this for? Because it's just doesn't seem right. But I watched it again. It was actually not that bad. So
Yeah,
I
I mean,
mean, what can you really do with a Yogi Bear movie? I mean, it's basically about these two bears that go around stealing picnic baskets, and then the ranger yells at them.
it's true to. I mean, it's true to form.
Yeah, the
It's good
characters
enough.
actually acted in character,
Yeah, like fair enough.
Hey, boo
You
and
boo.
get a
then like
pass.
the signs for the characters, like they definitely did a good job with like converting the 2D drawings and then making them into 3D models. Even though the plot is pretty. Oh, sorry.
I've never seen it, so I had to watch it.
Movie
Yeah, that's
night,
on
let's
HBO Max.
go!
Oh, it is.
Yeah, it's
I
gonna
avoided
disappear
seeing it,
like
but yeah.
end of the month.
Oh, I should watch it, I guess, even though oh boy, I gotta watch the Yogi Bear movie, but yeah.
It's not the kind of movie you really go out of your way to see. It's like if you have it like on Netflix and like I got nothing else to do, I can watch this.
But like, if it's happened to be on, like, yeah, I guess I can watch the Yogi Bear movie because it basically has that same predictable plot. It's basically like, okay, so if this Jellystone is gonna be taken over by this big corporation, and then Yogi screws up somehow, so he has to find a ranger, and it was about some endangered species, and they know that if they got the endangered species out of the park, then they'll be able to actually continue, building on the taking it over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I have to say about Yogi Bear is it has probably the worst use of the Wilhelm scream.
Oh,
There's like a scene where
yeah.
or like Yogi like falls on his back and a pine cone hits him, and then he does the Wilhelm scream.
Uh,
You don't get it, Alex. That's gonna be a meme in like 2024.
better.
It was I remember it being a meme a while back,
Oh,
where people were like posting it on Twitter.
bring it back. Gotta milk it.
All right. Anything else to add, Royal Foil?
Let's see. Okay, something that really surprised me when I found out it was Justin Timberlake that did Boo Boo's voice. Like, he did a really good
that was-
job.
Sounded
Yeah,
all
that
right.
was advertised.
Then with
Oh, he actually did?
yeah.
Hmm.
And you have Bill Murray. Murray. Dan Aykroyd, I'm tripping. All right, so you had Dan Aykroyd doing Yogi's voice, and he does a really solid job doing like his own thing.
They did all right.
Yeah.
All right.
And then like my least favorite, the Smurfs. The fact that I had to go to theaters and actually see that movie, like actually pay money to see the movie.
You paid for that?
I didn't pay for it. My mom did. Like, she was like, "Oh, hey, you want to go see the Smurfs movies?" I'm like, "Oh God." I mean,
boy.
sure, I want to hang out with my mom, but at the same time, to see the Smurfs movie.
Hell no.
Yeah, that's something that's like oh, it's like why don't you want to go see a movie with us as a family? It's like it's not you guys. It's just that you want to go see A Dog's Purpose, and I don't really want to see that. That has nothing to do with you.
Just the movie.
Yeah, but the best parts about the movie that I can really think of on the top of my head was Gargamel, played by Hank Azaria. That was a really
My God,
good
does that man always try?
Yeah.
All right.
The movie's pretty dated because you have stuff like Guitar Hero. Like, when was the last time you heard
Oh,
anybody
yeah.
talk about
It's like
that?
a big product placement for Guitar Hero.
And like
That was
product
outdated
placements
when the movie
everywhere.
came out too.
Yeah.
Cringe.
Yeah, and then the character designs are really ugly because they gave them these human eyes. It's
Human
like
eyes, hyper
They like mug
realistic
the camera
skin.
and get really
Also,
close.
their skin has like pores and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They had to
Ew.
build a special like device for the camera so they could shoot 3 inches off of the floor.
that Smurfs Lost Village movie, they did a better job of converting the Smurfs into 3D.
They took cartoons and made them look like cartoons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a
I don't even want
concept.
to talk about the second movie. I mean, that was just trash.
Did not see the second one. I know it had Goth Smurf in it, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Katy Perry
Yeah,
as the
and
goth Smurf. No,
His hand probably
who's-
jerked
who's
off in that
both the
movie.
Smurfs
That's
again?
all you need.
I
Okay.
Yay!
Yeah, that was the problem. That was the problem with the first one. It just didn't hit the goth demographic.
So that's what the second was for.
Hell yeah.
Maybe Lola Bunny for Space Jam 2. If she was goth, people would have liked it more.
Fuck
Oh,
yeah!
dude, undoubtedly, 100%.
I can confirm as a goth, yes. I don't know.
LeBron
Any
James
character-
is
You
goth.
saw how
Yeah,
crazy
yeah,
people were going for Goth Isabel when that was a thing.
That was cute, yeah.
Iconic.
All right. Anything else to add, Royal Foil?
Well, sir.
Nope. All right. Move on to Pale.
By the live action cartoon hybrids, do you mean like, do they have to be specifically like Space Jam?
It had to be
How to-
specifically live action and that a cartoon meshed with them.
Okay, so it wouldn't count, like Scooby Doo wouldn't count, right?
No.
That's okay. In that case, would Monkey Bone count or no? Or
Well, we're
yes?
gonna talk about that later,
What?
but yeah.
Yeah, Monkey Bone counts.
So Scooby Doo doesn't count because I just said the Smurfs and Yogi Bear.
No, but actually, that's a good point. I never felt that Scooby Doo counts.
Yeah, because it's not like.
I
It's
guess
weird.
I guess Scooby Doo would count. He's a cartoon dog, but no one treats him as a cartoon dog. I guess Yogi Bear, no one treats him as a cartoon bear though.
Yeah, but I feel like to an extent it falls under that umbrella.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I actually was expecting this to be a topic of like, what's the difference between live action and animation hybrids? Because like, technically speaking, something like Avengers Endgame is there's so much CGI and like animation going on with it, but like,
Yeah,
there's
but
like there's more of it in that
There-
movie probably than in Space Jam,
But
the first one.
I
they
think
aren't.
like Space Jam has because at the end of the day it started as a cartoon, so
I
I
think
think it's also just a verisimilitude type thing in terms of like Endgame expects you to believe this is real. This is like these are real aliens, real worlds. And Space
Yeah.
Jam and Roger Rabbit and stuff kind of calls attention like these are cartoon characters, but we want you to believe that they're actually here interacting with them. But it's I guess that's a distinction you can make if the movie is intentionally calling to attention like Alvin, I wouldn't consider Alvin and the Chipmunks because they're just chipmunks that happen to talk in their world.
Yeah.
Like they're animated, but they're just
right. But at the same time,
versus,
like
like-
modern animated live action hybrids, like even if they're not like whenever you hear about or see a movie like that, you kind of know it. They all have like this same energy to them. Like Alvin and the Chipmunks
Yeah.
and the Smurfs have like the exact same energy to them.
What about like Tom and Jerry, the new Tom and Jerry that came? That one's.
Oh,
Oh, I would
no.
mean
Oh,
to
no,
see that, but
that-
it looked
They're like
really
some-
bad. I don't
that
know.
one counts.
It looked
That one
kind
count?
yeah, that one count. It looks kind
Oh.
of boring.
There's like. Guess I'll just go with the generic. The Roger Rabbit one as favorite.
I mean, it's just a good it's just a good movie though.
It is. Don't really hate any of the hybrids. Even if they're bad, I find something good out of it. Like even
Yeah, I
with
mean,
the
they're
Tom
not
and Jerry
like
one,
offensive. They're just
Yeah.
meh.
like even with the Tom and Jerry one, even though it's kind of bad, I'm like still like some of the stuff they did with it. It's
Right.
kind of stinky, but I still like the way it looks.
Yeah.
At least like the animated parts. With the butter.
I mean, that's really the most. That's the only thing you can really say is like the animated parts are probably the best.
Yeah.
And it's consistent where all
Yeah.
the animals are cartoons.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Fine.
good.
And not like Garfield. I mean, yeah, Garfield, where it's like, oh, just Garfield is the one that's like CGI, but Odie's
Oh,
just a
yeah.
regular dog, and every other animal's a regular.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, sure, let's do that.
Then there's Tale of Two Kitties where there's two Garfields.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's really stepping it up.
I haven't seen those Garfield movies since they came out.
Oh.
Yeah,
I
same.
just know people hate them, and I'm like, I like them as a
They're
kid, but I'm pretty sure if I saw them again, I'd be like, oh god, I can see why people hate these movies. All I remember is the second one has I Feel Good by James Brown and the commercials. That's all I remember. And the credits, I think. I don't know. Or the first one, I don't know. That's all I
Alright.
remember.
Tim Curry, you can't forget about Tim Curry.
Tim Curry.
Woo!
Hot.
Anything else to add, Pale?
No, that's it.
Okay. Uh, at least for me, excluding Roger Rabbit, just because that well made, is the I still have a soft spot for Back in Action. Like I
Yeah,
I,
same.
I grew up with that movie, and and for least favorite, I can't. They're mostly just trash, though.
Mm,
At least like when it's bad, it's like really bad.
yeah.
I can't pick like a least favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably that like 1960s fish movie where the guy turns himself into a fish.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, what was that? I would always see like DVDs of that on like the discount shelf, but I never remembered what movie it was.
Uh, like whatever that movie actually is, it seems kind of boring. At least from the other stuff.
Yeah. I mean,
It's
because
just so bad it's good, but that was
yeah,
just
every time I want to look that movie up, just like a '60s movie where where man becomes cartoon fish, I feel like Google just respond with like, "You okay?"
oh here it is, The Incredible
What?
Mr. Limpet.
Wait, what did I miss? Sorry, I was gone for a minute. What did I miss?
Fish.
That one '60s movie where a guy turns himself into a cartoon fish.
Funniest shit I ever seen.
I don't. I don't know.
You don't know either?
I found it. It's called
Oh,
the.
that one like live action hybrid that was that's I don't know who put it in the chat. It was like made on like it looked like it was made on a budget of like $50.
Oh,
Out of Jimmy's head.
no,
Well, that too. You know what? That
Desert Mirage.
I can't
yeah,
tell
that one.
you.
But yeah,
It's really good.
I don't have anything else to add. I'll move on to Alex too.
Well, I think I enjoy. I mean, like obviously for me, like Roger Rabbit is for me like my favorite one, the best one. But I do kind of like the ones that are so mind-bogglingly insane that it becomes fascinating. Like Out of Jimmy's Head is an absolute mess, and it's kind of entertaining for that reason. For the same reason it's entertaining to watch a train wreck. I need to watch all of Desert Mirage because this looks absolutely unhinged.
Really is. I'm telling you, because like at the end, I don't want to spoil it, but I mean, it's crazy. Because first, when you watch it, you think, okay, it's just gonna be some kind of a crazy, not crazy, but just a dumb comedy. And then when you get to the parts where like he argues with his brother he hasn't seen in a long time, it's like crap. Things are really getting serious.
All right.
Yeah,
The
that.
acting gets really good at some points.
And as far as least favorite, probably the forgettable ones like the Smurfs and can't really pull any else out of the top of my head. You know what? Alvin and the Chipmunks are particularly annoying.
Well, that's if we count them, but yeah.
Yeah, if we count them.
You don't
But
like
honestly,
unicorn?
that's another thing. It's like it's honestly to the point where it's like, who cares about classifying these?
I do. Are you kidding me? I am a gatekeeper of live action animation hybrids.
Grrr.
As a film historian, I have to care.
It
You know
is
what I
the,
just
it's the
realized?
burden that follows me.
I forgot about the Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Yeah, I was
Oh
gonna.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah! Oh my god! I completely forgot about it. You know what? That one's pretty good too. It's not like the best, but still.
All right. Anything else to add, Alex too?
No, that's pretty much it.
All right. What about you, Alex Menace?
For favorites, outside of Roger Rabbit, which is probably my favorite, and Space Jam, the first one, uh, there's and I'm only gonna mention them quickly because I didn't actually have time to rewatch these, so I don't know if they actually hold up, but you know whatever. James and the Giant Peach, I really like that one growing up.
Holy
Yeah.
right. Ah!
Also Henry Selick,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah, I remember really liking that one as a film,
Yeah,
but
that
again,
one's good.
I haven't seen it in a while, so unless someone wants to chime in about it, because I haven't seen it recently, so I don't know.
I have very fond memories of it. I think it's very charming.
Yeah. I used to think the kid in that movie was the same kid from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory because they both were British and they had like the same haircut.
They
And I was like,
look
oh wait, this
very
movie came out
similar.
like 10.
Yeah.
I was like, oh wait, this movie came out 10 years earlier. It can't be the same kid. But
No.
um,
Like if you
also
told me
the
those two kids were brothers, I would have believed it.
yeah, all British kids look the same. But
They come from they all come from
Yeah,
the
that's
same
crazy.
den mother.
They all come from the Queen.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
the,
no!
it's
the
like
queen lays
like a
all of the
queen,
Brits in eggs.
like an
Oh.
ant.
Yes.
The ones that don't develop properly become corgis.
Oh.
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 But I also really like
Or they become Scottish.
the Three Caballeros, the Disney movie with Donald Duck, Jose the parrot, and Poncho the rooster. I don't know if you guys have seen that
Yeah,
movie. Okay,
I
Pale, you've
have.
seen it. Yeah, the Three
Oh,
Caballeros.
Donald
With
Duck be
Donald Duck.
horny as fuck.
Oh yeah, he
yeah.
is. But I remember that one I saw a lot growing up. I love that movie. It's just fun, but again, I haven't
Yeah.
seen it in a couple years, so I can't tell you
Yeah. I've
specifics
seen
about
it
like
once,
if.
but I would like to see it again. It's
I
Oh, I
just
saw it a
remembered
lot
Song of the
growing up.
South.
yeah.
Well,
Huh?
I haven't
Oh.
seen that one, so I'm not gonna mention
So
it.
Oh,
I was
I've
like,
seen
so
it.
many people are willing to die on that hill. The dude,
Oh,
if
yeah.
you go to like Save Splash Mountain Facebook pages, the stuff that people are saying is absolutely insane.
Ooh.
They're talking about like how like oh we need to send emails, countless emails and phone calls to them to punish them. That'll show them. They got to the point where they were creating multiple YouTube accounts so they could dislike a Black History Month video on Disney Parks YouTube channel.
Damn. Like,
to
bro,
say like, and they were saying stuff like, "This is our only chance to save Splash Mountain."
it's just a ride on this. Like, calm down. All the rides
Like,
change.
Yeah. Jeez. Calma. Wait.
it's like it's so bizarre. I need to make a video on it at some
It's
point
like,
with like the response that that video essay
Oh,
received.
wow.
yeah, because I like Splash Mountain, but shit, man, like things change. Like, let it die already.
Let it die. Let it die.
The
Let it shrivel up and die.
the
Well,
Yeah.
We
I'm
die
sorry to
already.
derail, but
but
and
yeah,
also Song of the South is boring. It's not that good.
It is.
I've heard the main criticism
I
is like
can
it's not even
confirm
that it's
who saw it. It's
like racist or like that it
I mean,
like
it's not like
reinforces of
Birth of a
like
Nation bad, but it's not like
it's just
it's not the
boring.
best.
it is a little oofy, but it's also boring.
Yeah.
I've heard the main thing. It's not like it's actively racist. Like it's not like the main character saying the N word or whatever. It's more just the other kind of racism of like, see, slavery wasn't all that bad. Like some of them got
Yeah.
to be like
yeah,
live in the house and stuff, and
cause
they're happy. You know.
cause
All you get to do chores and have your own place.
yeah, cause I saw the what like a couple months back, and
Yeah.
the biggest they're not like openly racist or anything. Like, no,
I think
there's
like
no Disney character whipping up the slaves or anything. It's just they make it seem like
yeah,
not that big of a deal, which
just them
is probably the
talk.
most concerning part.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And I understand why, because this is Disney being Disney and trying to make everything seem all happy and cheery. But
Yeah, Disney likes to really dress stuff up.
Yeah.
yeah,
Here's our very first gay open character. The very first.
Oh, really?
This is our
Yes.
first gay character. Disney. This is the seventh
This is our
first gay
first.
character you in a row you brought to class.
Yeah. Every
yeah,
time.
that should be a
This is our
topic.
first. This is our second very first gay character this year.
That should be a
Yeah.
topic for another podcast.
Hell yeah.
That would be a good one.
Oh, no, Cruella sucks. This is, by the way.
Okay. Anyway, anything else to add, Alex and Menace?
Well, yeah, I said Three Caballeros, but I don't
Yeah.
think you guys have seen that movie, or all of you except for one. But
Yeah.
that movie, I mean, these were kind of stretching it. Otherwise, this would be like probably my second favorite, or maybe even my favorite over Roger Rabbit. The first SpongeBob SquarePants movie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
Because I mean,
yeah.
it's mostly animated, but there are like definitely like the
Yeah.
opening with the pirates in the middle, and then once they go to
Yeah.
Shell City and the ocean, if we're counting that, I love that movie. It's amazing. But
Mm.
there's that. But
I'll probably
the one I
count it
want to,
as a
hmm?
technicality
Yeah.
Mhm.
because there's not
Yeah, but
enough.
the one I
Go
Yeah,
go
but
ahead. Go ahead.
sorry, sorry. Let's say, but the one I want to mention that I for sure is a hybrid and no one's mentioned, and one I really like. It's not my favorite, but it's one of them. Osmosis Jones.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
oh shit. You're right.
I always
So many
forget
like
Yeah.
that one.
so many
That one.
submerged memories keep resurfacing.
Yeah.
No, I saw that one recently for sure because I wanted to like make sure of like because it's on HBO Max. I'm like, okay, yeah, we'll see how it is, and it's like the live action parts are definitely the weakest parts of it. Like,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
even mentioned in the not to plug my Warner Brothers video, but three of the movies we're talking about here are in it. So maybe watch it. It's pretty good. I wish I could still make more videos, but um, I mentioned how when I was doing research on the movie, like reports back in 1999 don't mention anything about it being live action. So I just was always under the assumption that the live action stuff was added in later
Mhm.
by the directors of Dumb and Dumber and uh,
Yeah.
Green Book and stuff like that. What a
Shallow
sentence!
Hal.
The directors of Dumb and Dumber and Green Book, but no, yeah,
Oof.
the live action parts kind of drag it. It's I mean, there's funny parts, but it's mostly just kind of gross out, dumb stuff. And but the animated stuff is cool. Like Thrax is a really cool villain. He's like one of my favorite animated villains.
Yeah.
Lawrence Fishburne. The
Balls are
world is
cool.
really, huh?
He's cool.
Lawrence
Yeah.
Fish turn my balls off.
Yep.
Oh.
No, yeah, and the world is cool, like the way the city is designed inside Frank's body,
Yeah,
and
the
sort of
city of Frank.
yeah, and the animation is really smooth and like fluid, and it looks like the designs of all the characters are also really cool. Like Osmosis Jones himself has a really good design, and Drix, I was gonna say Drix also kind of utilizing that same Iron Giant type CGI where it's like tries to look 2D,
Like heavily
but
cell shaded.
yeah, it's really cool. The designs of all the characters and pedestrians, and again, the way the characters move, it's very fluid, it's bouncy, it's very expressive, and I'm like, man, Warner Brothers like had it, between that and Space Jam's animation and Iron Giants, it really had like a style going on. Like it was very bouncy and expressive compared to
Oh yeah,
Dis,
totally.
because I feel like Disney's animation at the time, even though it's really good, maybe it's a hot take, but I think they were a little more fluid. The Warner Brothers stuff, like at least Osmosis Jones and uh, Space Jam, in terms of like the fluidity of their movements and their bounciness and the weight of the characters. I don't know if it's a hot take, but I mean, at least just thinking about it, they feel like they're a little more fluid. But I don't know. Probably have to compare them, but no, whatever. But the movie, it's really good. It's also kind of a surprising kind of commentary on politicians and the mayor's corrupt and trying to hide this terrible thing happening that's killing off its uh citizens, but he's trying to play it down, saying it's nothing wrong, and very very sounds very familiar, doesn't it? But um
What a weird fictional thing that could never happen.
That could never
yeah,
happen, and we'll never bring it up again.
yeah, I know, but it's
Imagine
also just a
being
message
out
about staying healthy.
hindsighted by Osmosis Jones.
That movie is very relevant in 2020 and above. But yeah, and also I like their dynamic of Ozzy being like a hot shot, who's kind of overcompensating
Who
because he's
doesn't play by the
had
rules.
yeah, he's had like shit luck in the past, so he's overcompensating, and then Drix is kind of by the book square, but he kind of
It's,
genuinely believes in himself. It's almost like Toy Story, where
yeah,
Drix is like Buzz, who's like convinced like, oh, I'm a space ranger, and oh, I'm this powerful pill that's here to save the world or
yeah.
whatever, or save the body, and then
It's a really clever idea for like a buddy cop dynamic, like a white blood cell and medicine.
yeah, and then Drix learns that he's actually just a placebo, like, and then
Yeah,
kind of like when Buzz learns he's just a toy, but
it's
in
very
the end,
clever.
yeah, and then in the end, both of them realize that like, oh, it doesn't matter what I actually am; it's what I believe I can do. Like, Drix
Yeah.
ends up helping a lot, and Buzz ends up flying, and Drix. I mean, and then Ozzy and I don't know. I've noticed the similarities between the two movies. It's just interesting to point out, but yeah, that movie No, I think that's it for movies I want to mention. For
I feel
the good
bad for the
stuff.
I feel bad for the people who had like Osmosis Jones ruined for them because they had to like answer questions on it in class.
Oh, but that's
I
where
didn't. I love watching that movie in class. It was like, oh
that
hell yeah, this
that's
is a
where
good
most
movie.
people saw it in the first place in class.
Yeah, that's good point, I guess.
I saw it on HBO back in the early 2000s.
I think my
Oh,
first experience.
you saw it in the
Or
wild
Star.
in its pure state.
Well, I didn't see it in theaters, but it was either HBO or Stars, like one of those movie channels.
Right.
Probably Stars. I don't know, but yeah, I remember seeing it on TV as back in 02, 03 or something. I was like, man, this is a cool movie.
Dang. All right,
Yeah.
cool. Anyway,
Yeah.
we'll move on
Sorry.
to the next topic.
Bakersfield. Bakersfield.
The wait. Oh yeah, you mentioned that. Others.
Yeah.
Any miscellaneous? We'll start with Alex and Menace. Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, the only one I've seen of this list and others and whatever is Monkey Bone,
Monkey.
Monkey.
which Monkey that movie, same sort of problems I have with Cool World. It just seems really scatterbrained and all over the place, but I think it's better just because the parts where Brendan Fraser gets to kind of go crazy and act it out are really entertaining, and
Yeah, they're fun.
Yeah.
the climax of the movie is so insane. Like if I had to describe it, it's like these two dudes are fighting in a hot air balloon, or I mean on a balloon, and then one of them throws their guts at each other and
Oh
other
yeah, that's
organs,
Yeah.
great.
and
I
there's like
love
these
that.
team of doctors like chasing after them.
Yeah.
It's so insane that it's like it almost made up for the whole movie being kind of eh. I
Those
was like, okay, this is what I came to see. This insanity of
Yeah.
all this stuff happening. It's
come back here. Those are our organs.
Our organs.
yeah. There's not as much
Would you want
animation
to
as I
visit
was.
downtown?
Yeah, I was gonna say there's not as much animation as I was going into it as I was expecting it to have. But there's stuff like the stop motion Monkey Bone and
Yeah.
other stuff in the world. But yeah, no, same sort of problem. It's kind of like it's just a lot going on and it doesn't really connect and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But there's definitely fun parts that I'd say it makes it worth watching. Like I said, the finale is is really fun and crazy.
Insane.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, I think that's it. And I haven't the I'm not gonna talk about this movie because I haven't seen it, but no one's mentioned it, and it's a really big one. No one's mentioned, and I haven't seen it, which is kind of my big sin. I've been meaning to watch it for so many years, but Mary Poppins.
You haven't
Oh.
seen Mary Poppins?
Oh my
No, I have
Gosh.
not seen. I did not grow up with Mary Poppins.
I've
I've had
seen
the
bits and
DVD
pieces,
for.
The live action
honestly,
animated
so
hybrid
I'm
stuff
gonna
for
say
both
both.
Mary Poppins movies, and I
I've seen it.
thoroughly enjoy them both, especially the modern one because it's just so nice to see like Disney style animated characters in like full HD.
Damn, I didn't even think of Mary Poppins. You're absolutely right. Shit.
Yeah, I was like, has no one seen it? Or because I'm like, I haven't, because I don't know. Like I said, I didn't have the VHS or the DVD growing up, and then when we finally got the DVD like 7 years ago, I've just been like, oh yeah, I'll watch it, and then I forgot to watch it.
Dang.
And I've been
Love
trying to
that.
watch it for this marathon, but every time I have time, there's always something that comes up. I'm like, God
Aw.
dang it! But
Like,
I'm sure
watched
it's a good movie. I'm sure it's a really good movie. I love the music. I know for sure the music is. I've heard so many times like Chim Chimney Chim Chim
yeah.
Chiree.
Honestly,
Or let's
pop in Mary
let's.
Poppins Returns and just watch like the animated segment of that. It's so charming. I love
Oh,
it so much.
I've definitely seen parts of it. Like I'm not oblivious to like
Yeah.
the animated parts. I just haven't sat down for the
Oh.
entire film. Like the music is obviously very good. It's
Like there's this
I have.
dog man, this Irish poodle man who is absolutely adorable.
Let's fly a kite.
Like he starts barking,
Supercalifragilistic.
he starts like talking, and all the kids are like, "Wow!" And he goes like, "Yep, that's right, I'm Irish,
I'm alright.
and I'm
Oh
also
yeah,
part
back when
poodle."
Irish were discriminated against.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Well, I mean, maybe not by the 60s, but at least
Right.
if you were an adult watching that movie, you would have been like, "Oh yeah, I was treated as subhuman by other white people."
but
I don't know,
everyone.
it's weird.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Disney.
Anything else to add, Alex?
Oh, but yeah, that movie. I haven't seen it unfortunately, and it's one of my
Yeah.
big sins of animation. Of like, you
Biggest
haven't
sin
seen this
ever.
movie?
Alright.
Since you mentioned Mary Poppins, you should also check out Saving Mr. Banks, since it's kind of related to
I've
that in a
been
way.
wanting to watch that one also, but I want to
Yeah.
watch Mary Poppins before so I
Yeah,
can
watch
kind of
that
get some
first.
context. Yeah.
I need to watch it. I've seen only bits and pieces of Mary Poppins, so I'm no better myself.
Okay. We'll
But no,
just.
but Mary Poppins, yeah, the music's really good. The little bits of animation I've seen
Yeah.
are it's not Roger Rabbit levels of integration but
Yeah.
not integration of what's the term when you put compositing yeah
Composition?
yeah not composition like when you compose I guess
Compose?
integration of animation into in live action.
Alright.
What was it? What you mean,
I think
like
it's
drawing?
I think it's compositing, isn't it, or
Like
Hmm.
superimposing or something like that.
something like that. There's a term
Yeah.
and I'm
Okay,
getting
yeah.
annoyed that I can't remember it, but
Yeah,
yeah, it's not as
I don't know the
advanced
word,
as
but I know what
like
you mean.
later stuff, but it's still like I don't know. I'll watch
Yeah.
it just because the little bit I have seen and know about makes it look like a fun movie, and
Yeah.
the music. I'm really nostalgic for the music of that movie.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Well,
okay, yeah, but that's all I got.
it's okay.
Yeah.
We'll stop everything now just to watch it, and then we'll come back.
Yeah.
Uh,
Anyway, since that's it, Alex too. What about you for others?
For others, I don't know. I feel like there's gonna be one that I'm gonna remember later on. That's gonna kill me, or just like it's gonna
I feel
obliterate
that.
me. I'm gonna be like, oh God, how did I not remember that?
Yeah.
I mean, no one's mentioned. I mean, we mentioned Out of Jimmy's Head, but no one's talked about it.
It's like even outside the thing that's really weird about Out of Jimmy's Head is that like you'd think like, oh, everything else is normal and this kid just has cartoons in his head, but it has so much weird stuff on like stacked up on top of it. Like his like adopted sister is an alien.
Dang. Wait, really?
he was hit by a train
What?
too.
Yeah, he was hit by a
That
train
scene
while
is
visiting.
that scene is so funny when he gets hit by a train because he's
Yeah,
just like the train is
barely
going in like
5 miles
the
an
tr-
hour, but he like gets launched 100 feet.
it's more like 3 miles. It's just so short, and then like he just suddenly flies up like he just got hit by like a truck moving at 80 miles per hour. But he also flies it in slow motion. Like he just like slowly goes up and goes ah.
And it fades to white.
Oh, that's so funny. Oh god, yeah.
Yeah, and like the mom is in for some reason the mom is an astronaut.
Yeah, it's a really weird movie. It's like Dollar Store Roger Rabbit.
And then also Tom
Still
Kenny
mad
is
that
the villain.
yeah, also still mad that Space Jam 2 doesn't have any fucking Cartoon Network characters. Should have.
Yeah, that should have
All
been
it
like
has all these it also all these like Hanna-Barbera and Warner Brothers IPs, but like not a single like no Dexter, the Power Patrol's just chilling in the
Like,
background. Like
yeah,
come
not you
on.
couldn't even like really not even as a cameo.
Mm.
Say no. It costs so much money.
Yeah, of all the things they had in there, that cost too much money.
It's like, but you own them. No, it's too much money.
What? What if they were there? It's just very, very hidden.
Really small text.
Very
That
small.
would, I feel like that'd only make it more disappointing. It's like you took the effort to put them in, but didn't even show them off.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that the Animaniacs was apparently in there. Cameo.
Yeah, there was like a single split moment where they were like sitting on a hoop or like sitting in the background on a sign. It's like, oh
Yeah.
my God, it's them, and they're only there.
They
for
don't
like
even they don't even have like Tiny Toons, which would have been the perfect fucking thing to put in there. It's like
The Clockwork Orange
Like-
guys were in Space Jam more than.
I still can't get over that.
oh yeah, the not to complain, but the Nerdlux in Space Jam 2 are just composited from
From the
they just
first one.
basically trace out
Yeah.
yeah, if you look at it, it's literally just they trace out the animation and put it in like a YouTube poop basically, just cut it out and put it into the movie.
It probably
Yeah.
it probably isn't even traced. These probably still had the assets saved. That
Oh,
clip
probably.
and just
But then
spliced it in there.
Yeah, and then the shading doesn't match the rest of the scene because the lighting is different in that shot, and it just looks weird because it's like I don't know.
Yeah, and they're like
I
the
heard
only
that
characters
for
who aren't
Animaniacs.
CG too.
Yeah, for the Animaniacs, they pretty much use like the PlayStation 1 models. Something like that.
Oh God.
There's no 3D models for Cartoon Network characters.
Damn it. Time to
Except
make
there are
some.
because of
The
Punch Time
closest we have
Explosion.
is Punch Time Explosion.
Yeah.
You want to use
I mean,
fusion
And-
we do have Fusion Fall models.
I don't know. Not to turn it into a tangent about criticizing my biggest gripe of Space Jam 2. It's just the fact that the animation part of it. It feels like the people who were in charge of it were all like 40-year-old people who didn't watch, who stopped watching cartoons in the 90s, which is why there's no one from, like, there's no Tiny Toons, there's no Freakazoid or The Tick or
Yeah.
I mean, Animaniacs, I guess, are too big to ignore, but then, no Power Patrols, no Dexter, no, like, not even, like, Finn and Jake, like, they're fucking bit popular, they're big deal characters. I don't know, it felt like it was, it felt like the people in charge of that were 40-year-olds who, like, stopped watching cartoons in the 80s, and then that's why there's no newer characters except for Animaniacs for, like, 2 seconds in the background, and Rick and Morty. It's like,
I can
Yeah.
kind of
I
understand
don't
the
know.
Animaniacs
I'm just
because,
that bothered me
reboot.
so much.
Yeah.
Okay, I just got a thing in my recommended for Nerd Lux and Space Jam 2 be like.
But
Dear God, it listens.
anything else to add, Alexu?
Can't really think of anything else. I'll just put this in Mimi chat because it hit it just the right time.
All right. I guess is at least for me. Out of this whole list, I've only seen Out of Jimmy's Head and Monkey Bone, and I do not remember much about Out of Jimmy's Head, except that he has the brain of Walt Disney inside of him. Uh,
He somehow like maintains his personality and doesn't become a huge racist.
doesn't become a chain smoker and a racist.
He's just suddenly like, oh man, I need to smoke.
Yeah, they go out of their way to like in the movie to address to like window dress the whole thing is just like we've transferred his brain but he's maintained his personality.
So basically, nothing of him.
The-
He just knows things Walt Disney knows. Basically, like he's
Yeah.
not like, oh, I hate unions or something.
Yeah,
Unions-
exactly.
Unions
It's
are
like-
communists.
Like, Jimmy, it's you. Are you okay? Yeah, but I just
Where's-
like really
Whereas
hate
Snow White's voice
unions
actor's
now.
like, we gotta keep her from being in stuff. I don't know.
It's like, yeah, Mama, I'm fine. I just, for some reason, I have a sudden disdain for unions. What's a union?
What's a union?
A union.
It's a
Something-
union.
Something communists created. That's what a union is. And then the Monkey Bone. I really like Monkey Bone. The only criticism I have is I think it fails on sense of timing because a whole bunch of time passes between the movie and it feels like only maybe 3 days have gone by.
Yeah. Yeah.
Other than that, I found it very entertaining.
Yeah.
And then Brendan Fraser is a himbo, like
Yeah.
Pell agrees. He's
The implication that like Monkey Bone would be like a children's show. In
I like the
late
2D
early
opening,
2000s.
by the way. The opening credits with the 2D animation.
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's
This man personified his childhood erections.
Yes.
but yeah, I don't
Yeah,
have
Disney's gonna love this.
I don't have anything else to add. What about you, Pale?
I was gonna also mention Monkey Bone. I really like that it's stop motion in there and Brendan Fraser. And I'm just like, yes. And that scene where they're like supposedly gonna have sex. If
Oh.
the sex is like that, I
Oh
would
yeah,
love
that part was funny. Because he's
And then I love the part where when he's in the dead guy's body, and then like his guts are spilling out, and they're like, "Ew, what's that smell?" Because he has like the dead body
He's-
of a like athlete.
And he's
the movie should have been
decomposing.
more Freddy Got Fingered type, where it's just absurd, weird fucking things, and less like
It's not funny.
I don't know.
Kind of dark humory, and I'm like, this is I like this. I like.
oh yeah, the
Wacky
sex
and-
scene is funny.
the-
Playing
Yeah.
Foxy Lady. It's just
Oh,
swinging
dude,
around
if
and
you
stuff.
gave like Tom Green the keys to an animation studio, that'd be amazing.
Mm.
Then again, I don't know if he would if he would have the energy to do something like Freddy Got Fingered again.
I think he's too old.
Oh,
Give it to Eric
I'm not
Andre
sure.
or something.
Ooh, yes, dude. Eric Andre remake of Freddy Got Fingered. That'd be amazing.
I will watch that.
I
I'll
dude, I am already buying a ticket for something that does not exist.
I'll buy that for $1.
Yeah, yeah, that's all I got.
Oh, another thing I have to add on Monkey Bone is I like the implication that Stephen King is just stuck in limbo, and
Yeah,
that
Cujo's inhabiting his body.
and Cujo's inhabiting his body the entire time. So so who wrote like half his books are just written by a dog.
It would explain a chunk.
Yeah, I heard that they were gonna try to get like Stephen King wanted to be in the movie, but he couldn't at during that time when they were making the movie. That's why they someone else. But I was like,
Oh, you're
oh,
talking about Monkey Bone still, or
yeah, Monkey Bones.
Monkey
Yeah,
Bone,
yeah?
yeah.
and I also like how in his brain when he goes to the coma land or whatever, it's like an amusement park. I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah, it looks like a Tim Burton. Well, I mean, Henry Selick and Tim Burton have like the same aesthetic, but it
Yeah,
looks like
Tim Burton
looks cool.
inspired.
Like
I like
sinking
it.
down. I like the effect of him like sinking down while he's like lying on the stretcher.
Mm,
Oh, that's a good effect.
Yeah, it looks cool.
did
All
too.
right. What about you, Royal Foil?
Let's see.
No one's
I
mentioned
mean,
the
because of the
second.
rule about having live action hybrids be about I mean, real life people interacting with cartoon characters and not treated like it's normal.
Hmm.
Uh,
Well,
yeah, the Desert Mirage movie is kind of like Freddy Got Fingered. It was kind of crass, absurd. But the
Yeah.
one thing I do like more about Desert Mirage is that he actually has the characters talk to him.
Right.
Aside from that, I don't really have that much to add. I think I said pretty much all I needed.
Oh yeah, I was gonna add. No one's I mentioned it kind of, but I said the first SpongeBob movie. There's also the second one, SpongeBob Out of Water. That has more kind of integration of that stuff, kinda. I don't know. Um, I don't know if no one has an opinion on that movie.
Uh,
like I don't remember the second SpongeBob movie that well.
Well, there's a part where
It
they
has
go
its
on land
moments.
and they're like superheroes and stuff.
And Sandy is a photorealistic squirrel.
Which is a good gag, kind of callback to the show when they go on land and Sandy's just a squirrel.
Yeah, they just puppet it around like a taxidermied squirrel.
But yeah. Uh, okay, all right. We'll finish all the topics. Any last words from any of you? Anything else you want to add?
Maybe animated parts and otherwise mostly live action movies, because I mentioned Tim Burton and then I thought of Pee-wee's Big Adventure, like the large Marge part of the movie,
It's a little.
where just out of
Yeah.
nowhere she turns into stop motion. It's really creepy
Oh,
if you don't expect it.
Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Beetlejuice, yeah. Also, Pee-wee has another
Ooh.
nightmare, and there's like a stop motion dinosaur that he saw
Yeah.
earlier that destroys his bike, and
I can't do the Pee-wee voice. I wish I knew how. Well, boys and girls.
this is crack. We both said the same thing.
Time really flies when you're having fun.
fucking,
No, you are, but what am I?
We'll see you next time at the playoffs.
fucking insane.
It's not for sale, Francis.
Have you guys ever seen Pee-Pee's Gay House?
No.
No.
Is that like a YouTube poop or something?
No, it's a redub of it's like a redub that Stamper did of Pee-wee's Playhouse, and his Pee-wee impression is like spot on.
oh.
You have to send a link on the channel.
Yeah, let me see here.
But since I don't think anyone else has anything else to say? I'll call this a night.
Probably no. Yeah.
Call it a night. Goodbye, YouTube, and good night. Anyone else want to say their goodbyes?
Thank y'all
Goodbye.
for tuning in. And I hope y'all have a good day, night, evening.
Yeah. Also, sorry for tuning in late. I was sleeping because I slept late.
No, it's
But yeah,
okay.
It's okay,
Yeah.
Alex.
I was asleep before the call too. I was just like, So
I
yeah.
have done nothing but drink Mountain Dew all day, so kind of.
You're
Fun
full of.
topic though. I'll say this was a good topic. I've been looking forward to this one for weeks now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. All right,
Yeah.
cool. Well, see you later, YouTube.